people.
You'll love the local expert advice and custom cutting from the team at Windsor Plywood Leduc, helping Leduc builders evaluate their projects from start to finish.
Windsor Plywood. Doors, floors, moldings, and more. Much more.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CHAR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado.
Sideline here, they'll play 5 white. Kelly rips it. Touchdown Toronto. Evan Tall.
60% talent, 40% Swedish air cream.
Lucas hits it high in the air to deep right field. And Jones will turn the court. Up into the second deck for Nathan Lucas. And it's a 4-1 game.
It's all gas, no brakes.
The Winnipeg 15. Fajardo looking to his right. Cross it to the field. And touchdown Edmonton. And the
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440.
Let's go, another week. Lot to talk about after a crazy weekend of sports. I'm back, baby. Hope everything was good while I was gone. Tom Gazzola inside the Sports 1440 studios alongside Eddie Steele, Cam Tate, Donovan Paulson, and Josh Fenwick. Woo-wee. Of course, this show brought to you by Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. You heard the Austin Mack touchdown call by the one and only Dustin Nielsen. And that was a crazy game on Friday night. Last night in the CFL, upset or not an upset? I don't know. BC taking care of business against Saskatchewan. That was interesting. And then, of course, here in town, we had the LPGA. It was wonderful. And so much more to discuss today on the show. Austin Mack will be joining us from the Elks. Low Tide will be joining us. Of course, Spec for On the Mark. Teresa Walker from the AP, Tennessee Titans reporter. She also covers the Predators. Kevin Paul DuPont, Boston Globe Bruins reporter. And Adam Scully from Golf Talk Canada. But we're here in studio. Eddie Steele, you were at that game. It was country night. You did not wear your tight jeans tucked into your cowboy boots, I'm assuming. No, you had the family there, didn't you?
No, TG, I was out there solo, but I wasn't boot scoop boogieing at the game. I wasn't, but wowzers, what a game it was.
My goodness.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, hey?
Great way to describe it. I was sitting there at halftime like, oh boy, this is not going well. And I thought maybe they were overlooking the Bombers and they were looking at that bye week, licking their lips saying, oh, let's get out of town. Let's go and do anything but football. And something happened in the second half, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And that can be the mentality with a game like that when you have the bye week on the horizon. But this organization is different. And I want to give the flowers to Coach Killam and the coaching staff for the adjustment they've been able to make. Even Jordan Maximic all season offensively, it's easy for us to nitpick. It's easy for fans and armchair quarterbacks to sit back. Oh, you should have threw it when you ran it and vice versa. But they have done a phenomenal job this season making adjustments in game, even week to week for their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And what this coaching staff has done with the way that you can have Edmonton go in at half, make those in-game adjustments and come out and be a completely different team. it's complete credit to the coaching staff. Yes, players got to go out there and make plays, but the staff did exactly what they needed to do. And I got to say, the boys were receptive clearly to the message at half. So that was wonderful to see them come out and just flip it up. And what a stomping they put on
Oh,
Winnipeg.
my goodness. They're down 16 zip. They barely touched the ball in the first quarter. I think the time of possession, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, was 12:30 for Winnipeg to like 2:30 for Edmonton. And I mean, it got better in the second quarter, but not a ton better. And then totally flipped the script, like you said. Is there a paint peeling session in the halftime break?
No, I don't think so. Not
Okay.
with this game, because they weren't getting their butt whooped. They really weren't. The time of possession and all those numbers favored Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But when you're going into half, the way that Edmonton played 16-6, only down 10, that's a win for the Edmonton. Even think for that first drive for Winnipeg going back, they marched the field. Hey, TG, like it was like
did.
butter. Brady Oliveira, Zach Caleros was on time and on fire all first half.
It's like 7 minutes.
It was a
Yeah.
textbook perfect drive.
Yeah.
But then you bend and you don't break. You get down into within the 5-yard line and you hold them to 3. That's a win for the defense. And the defense, I say they did a phenomenal job in the first half. Yes, the numbers weren't flattering, but to hold Winnipeg to only 16 and be down 10, you got to feel good, because a 10-point game in the CFL, that's anybody's game.
Sure.
And clearly Edmonton showed.
What does this say about this group? I mean, I know Cody Fajardo said to us multiple times in the last couple of weeks that he and the leadership challenged the group to sprint to the bye week, get to 8-3, enjoy that earned time off after a 10-week stretch, and then attack the Labor Day Classic and the rematch.
What this says, TG, and we are going to start to have this conversation, is this team is made up of championship DNA. Like, this is a team that can win the Grey Cup. That's what this says. This isn't just a team trying to win back hope because of a name change here and scramble a couple of wins together. This is a team that legit has championship aspirations and can win this championship.
It's crazy.
Yes, there's other good teams in the league, but does SAS scare you?
Not as much as they did earlier in the season.
They don't scare me.
especially-
Winnipeg,
Yeah.
who is always going to be competitive, do they scare you? Does BC
Not
scare
anymore.
you? None of these teams in the West scare me.
BC a little bit, but Edmonton finally got over the BC hump this year.
So you get that monkey off of the back. So
Yes.
there's some confidence that follows that. So none of these teams truly scare me. So we have to start talking about this team. I'm not going to say a Grey Cup favorite, but man, we're on a collision course for Montreal Edmonton. We have to be.
Bring it on. I mean, they got schooled by Montreal last time out a couple of weeks ago, but they hung in there that first game, handed Davis Alexander his first ever regular season loss. And then, obviously had that tough game against Saskatchewan in the back-to-back, but I understand the championship DNA element to this. I get it.
So let me ask you, how was the game working for you? What was the vibes on the sideline? When you would strut over to the Double E side, was it pretty somber during the first half? Or
There
was
was-
it like,
I think there was mounting frustration. I mean, at first, that first drive really sucked the wind out of the energy of the building, because I think, considering that the crowd was okay, like, let's not kid ourselves, it was okay.
we've seen better?
Yeah, absolutely. But the people that were there were very much into it. And I think it was around 22,000. But whatever energy was there, that opening drive just killed the buzz, especially when the Elks couldn't get it going offensively too. I'm like, well, you're right. Like, they bent, but they didn't break, but it didn't bring a lot of good juju to the building. That's for sure.
And you're right. It was flat. Hey, I had a perfect vantage point. I usually watch about the first quarter. I bounce around the
Yep.
stadium. I developed a really nice relationship with one of the senior staff members, I guess. She controls the lounge tables up top.
Oh,
Where
really?
people sit and,
Yeah.
so she lets me frequent and hang out there. She
Sure,
says,
you're a great cup ring.
as a Grey Cup winner, she says, you've earned it. You can come and watch wherever you want. So I'd go
I
up
love
there and
that.
I'll kind of hang with her a little bit. So I'm getting the perfect bird's eye view, and I'm just watching Winnipeg slice and dice. I mean, you could feel the momentum. You could see it just, people grunting and groaning as they were moving it down the field. But again, the D held. So
Winnipeg comes into that game 5-4. feeling like it was putting something together. I had a sideline story ready to go, and it was F word the naysayers. And that's exactly, and I'm not going to use the expletive, obviously,
I
but
think we knew.
yeah, I think you could put it together. And it was Zach Collaros' thought to people saying that the window to win in Winnipeg is over. And considering they had climbed to 5-4 and he was back and looking better, and don't get me wrong, they beat Ottawa their last 2 wins. Let's not kid ourselves.
For
Ottawa.
sure.
Ottawa
Keeping it real.
Ottawa, by the way, we should talk about at some point in this show, because 0-10, 16 straight losses going back to last year, just fired their VP of football ops, Sean Burke. What a disaster. But that's an aside for another time. We're talking about the Elks here. Yeah, so Collaros is like, F the naysayers, and I like people talking about the game and the league, and we need that, but to think that we don't have it anymore is garbage, essentially, is what he was saying. And I'm watching in that first half, I'm like, I'm never doubting Zach Collaros
He's
again.
right.
And then I'm watching that second half, and I'm like, oh, maybe Zach Collaros was wrong.
He's wrong.
it just flipped. And I love the attitude from Zach Collaros, because that's how you're supposed to. You don't take BS from
It's true.
outsiders. You dictate what you can, I think, as an athlete, especially a pro athlete. That's one, and how good Winnipeg's been. But
Exactly. That's it. They've been the big dog for so long.
and they're getting old. They're getting old. They still have some weapons, old guys who can play, but like Stanley Bryant's 38 years old.
Man, he's older than that, Tom. I want to say he's 40.
Maybe he's 40.
I think he's 40.
Yeah,
man.
and
Because
like-
Patty Neufeld is 38, and he's
Okay.
younger than Stanley.
there you go.
Brother, these Father Time is undefeated. That's the
Yes.
reality. And I like these guys a lot personally. I've liked watching them play. I've competed against them. They've played a whole second career since I've retired, it feels like.
Which is insane.
It is insane, especially in the trenches. But Father Time at the end of the day is undefeated. We all have a shelf life.
Yeah.
And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will find peace in your life, no matter what industry. I'm not talking pro athletes. The sooner we all realize that we are just a number and we have a shelf life, an
Yeah.
expiration date. I don't mean passing, but in the workplace, it's just the reality of it. And these guys, you see it on the field, the difference between you driving to your job and the guys on the CFL field or pro athletes is they're under a microscope. They get a bunch of goobers like us talking about every mishap that they have, where usually most people don't have that type of scrutiny that they're dealing with.
Point.
So the facts are, we asked Jeff Hamilton this, Winnipeg Free Press on Friday here on the show. What's going on with Winnipeg? Where is why are they falling and stumbling the way they have this year?
Yeah.
And he said loyalty, because they've
To a
hung
fault.
loyalty to a fault. They've hung on to some of these veterans a little bit longer than you usually would
Mhm.
in the realm of pro sports. And we're really starting to see that. And with the decay in their play, and Zach Collaros, man, he was a teammate of mine in Sask. I love Zach, really good teammate. But even in 2018, his body was, turning into somewhat of a shell.
Yeah.
And, any little hit, there was major concussion talks back then just regarding him. And you see it with him in the gameplay now, man. He takes some big shots, even just to the midsection, his back, I know he's been
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
with. He gets up slow and gingerly, man. It doesn't look like it's fun out there when he's hitting the turf. He's not springing up the way he used to. That's for darn sure.
I appreciate his gumption and screw you attitude. I'm going to keep playing. But I remember last year when he got hit real bad and got hurt, Milt Stiegel on the panel was like, it's time, brother, it's time.
He literally said it was time.
Yeah. But that's the thing that I find odd about, not odd, but interesting, is he comes back and he plays, Eddie. Yes, there's always that threat of injury and sometimes major injury, and the head stuff you want to be very, very careful with. But when he's on, he's outstanding.
Look at that first half. His
Yeah.
timing. Like the Elks couldn't stop him.
Nope.
He looked so sharp. You're absolutely right, Tommy.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I think about with Zach, when it comes to the physical element that not a lot of people clue into, I played and I took a lot of Toradol, man. Like being in the trenches, you're taking Toradol before
Yeah.
damn near every game. You really are. So Zach, and I didn't, I've had my nicks and bruises, and it's different types of collisions in the trenches. But Zach, as a quarterback, I wonder if he's going into games naked physically, or if he's actually, putting some Toradol in the system to mask some of this pain, because with the amount of issues he's faced over the years, I would have to think he's playing with a lot of Toradol and just the wear and tear, that takes on the body. Oh man. And I think from the element outside of the game now, because, I'm on the other side of the fence. So you look at it with a different type of a lens.
Of course.
Jeez, man. I just see him getting up and his back is all ginger. I think, oh, Zach.
Listen, and they've used him on the TSN panel at Grey Cups, and he's been excellent. And I think that there's, whether it's coaching or maybe TV or whatever, there's definitely life after football that could be pretty prosperous for Zach Collaros.
Certainly.
Is it going to be, $500,000 Canadian prosperous? Probably not, but it's pretty healthy, and he'll be okay.
Hopefully he, stacked away some of that $500,000 Canadian he's earned for a few decades.
He seems like a pretty smart guy. Now, seems and is are two different things, but you're right. Like the body, and if you're putting Toradol in your body, when it comes to him, do you just say, all right, here, Taylor Elgersma, let me try to impart as much wisdom on you as I can until you take the reins of this team over? And I know that's a big burden to shoulder.
Yeah.
And then you've got kind of Drew Brown sitting there in the meantime, but there's got to be a passing of the baton at some point.
There has to be. Winnipeg, though, again, that loyalty word. So I don't know, how that's going to work in their organization. In my opinion, I find it hard to see and forecast Zach playing next year, right?
Okay.
At his age, after everything he's gone through, yes, the quarterback position's unique where you can play a little older, but I find it difficult just right now seeing him come back for another season. But I can't speak on another man's career.
Maybe he empties the tank this year, and I respect that, while passing on as much wisdom as he can.
The reality with that, though, like Michael Jordan said, still got to come through Edmonton. You still got to come through Edmonton, because that's where we're at, baby. Number 1 in the West, best in the West, 8-3. Still got to come through Edmonton.
Okay, real quick, we get the Labor Day Classic when the Elks return from the bye week, and then the rematch. Regardless of what happens in that Calgary game, in Calgary, I expect there to be a really good crowd here in Edmonton.
Like, we're talking 40.
I hope so.
Like, we're talking the push for 40K, baby.
People were pumped.
Yeah.
The ones that were there were pumped. And you can, it's not an apathetic crowd anymore. It's not, I'm here to support the team, or I'm here because it's a Friday night and I had nothing better to do. It's, I want to watch this team win. They're damn exciting. And in that second half, you were there, Eddie. Boys, some of you were there. You could feel it. Like,
electric.
People, the give a crap is through the roof.
Yeah.
There was a great, I think somebody had it. Was it Elks Nation had it? Mark Killam just standing and taking it all in.
Saw that.
The locker room.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember which account had it.
Yeah, I forget which one had that too. He's just standing there at the top of the stairs there, just outside the locker room.
Yeah.
Just embracing it. Just basking in the ambience.
They've gotten it to this point. I know they want to push higher, but it's there. And Eddie, I'm expecting 2 great games and 2 big crowds.
Well, and we'll talk about this a little bit in the program here, but getting to this point, TG, talk about the flip that this organization has done, the staff, the people.
Yep.
Wow. What a 180. Wow.
Well deserved. All right. We're off and running. Monday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Text us 1-833-401-1440. So much to talk about. We're going to chew on some hockey stuff. We'll probably talk Elks for sure with Low Tide coming up next. We'll be back right after this.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
1 in 3 Canadians aren't getting enough sleep. Let the Brick help you sleep better for less. Save 40% on the Sealy Crown Jewel Resort mattress. Get cheap starting at just $49. And buy one pillow, get the second one for just $10. Plus, take up to 55 months to pay with no interest and no money down. And with next day delivery in Edmonton, you can start sleeping better right away. Some conditions apply. OAC. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$7:22. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. It's the Tom Gazzola Show. Tom back. I was in Calgary all week. It's wonderful to be home in God's country. It's so nice. Eddie Steele, Cam Tate, Donovan Paulson, and Josh Fenwick with you. And so much to talk about. We're going to be joined by Low Tide in a minute or two here. Man, we continued the CFL talk in the break, and we're talking like, okay, what now? What about this back-to-back against Calgary after the bye week? It's going to be juicy, Eddie.
I'm feeling it sweet. Get your brooms out.
Ooh.
Get your brooms out, dare I say. Tommy, though, did you just say Calgary's God's country?
No, Edmonton is.
Okay, yeah, back here. Okay,
back.
Yeah, I misheard you. I thought you meant like, oh, you were back down south.
I
had to bust you up there.
I
couldn't let you get away with that.
As someone who's wearing the Edmonton Eskimos 1914 Western Canadian Baseball League hat, I couldn't do that to you.
Good.
Yeah.
Couldn't let you get away with that.
Yeah. Oh, good to go. Tide's ready to go. Good morning, Low Tide. How are you, sir? And how did you spend your weekend?
Good morning to you. I am fine. I'm calm. I spent my weekend calculating the number of days you worked at the radio station and the number of days you've taken off while working at the radio station. And I think you have the best agent in history, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, well, I pay that agent moderately, and that would be me. So anyway, yes, it's the niceness of Jason Greger is where that came from. I had that time booked, and Greg's was nice enough to oblige. So it's over now, Tide. I enjoyed it. I made the most of it, and we're back. I don't think I have holidays.
You got 50 straight weeks now. That's the kicker.
That's right. 2028. Can't wait. That'll be my next holiday.
Just so you know, I know it was for something that was a good thing, and also that I will be counting your days off from now on. So, you know, you're on the clock, and I as an old bitter man, I like nothing more than to have a weekly update about how many days you've had off while working fewer days.
Oh,
so,
good. You know what, Tide? I didn't know you'd be auditing my time work, but I respect that, and I'll let you handle it and not worry about it because otherwise
I'll update you weekly. You'll see where you are. You know, you don't even have to worry about your holidays. I'll send you an email every week.
That Gazzola, man, what a slacker. Anyway, okay, I'm assuming you watched the football over the weekend, and Eddie and I got all geeked out over it in the first segment. I came back from Calgary, changed, got into my suit, and then hopped over to Commonwealth. And man, oh man, 2 different games and 2 different halves entirely. What did you think, Tide, from what you saw?
Well, I feel like the overriding thing about this season is that we've waited for this for how long, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you look at the standings today and you're like, okay. And it's been a weird way to get here, right? Like the final score, like 22-19, you're like, okay, but how they got there, you know, where they were, you know, what was it? 16-6 at half?
Yep.
You know, and you got to do when you're down in a low scoring game, 16-6, you got to do two things. You got to score when you haven't been able to, and then you have to suppress. And they did both. And I feel like the Elks are like it's like they have enough of everything. They're a balanced team. You know, they it's not like they're perfect, you know, in the red zone. They have some things to do in terms of creativity offensively, but they do things well. They're good on both sides of the ball. They're good on the lines. They have a quarterback who's having a great year and can drop the ball in. They've got a running game. They got guys who can catch the ball. Got some playmakers on defense. And now I think, you know, they've proven that the coaching staff can make adjustments for the second half. So and then you look at the standings, boys, and this is kind of fun to do because it's all coming home to roost for the Saskatchewan Roughriders right now, who are they're 6-4, BC's 5-5, Winnipeg 5-5, and now, you know, if you go back to even a year ago, but certainly 4 years ago, and you say no, the Elks will, you know, they'll be 8-3. And they'll have, you know, the next team was 6-4, and they're on a 2-game losing streak. This is what everything was supposed to be like 4 years ago, or, you know, coming out of the pandemic, and hasn't been. But I think this is a team to get excited about. And you know, people bitched about the attendance, and I kept saying, look, you know, fans haven't had a lot to cheer for, you know, and give them something to cheer for, and get them to know the names of players, you know, like Rankin is people, you know, I've been talking about Rankin for a long time, and people now are telling me about him, you know, like, look at this guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And that's the whole thing. We cheer for laundry as fans, but when you start getting to know the names of players, and not just the offensive guys, but the defensive guys, the guys who are, you know, working hard in the trenches, and, you know, when you know, Beard comes back and people are excited about it, this is a football city. They just needed to have some winning football for a while.
Good point.
And they're back. And you know, for me, as an old time guy who remembers, the 71 Grey Cup and Larry Robinson kicking the field goal, this is great to see. I'm thrilled for the CFL because the CFL is best when Edmonton is a cornerstone, and they're not there yet, but they're getting there.
I'm going to have some commentary to your point that you just made as well, Ty, in terms of the people getting to know the players. I think that with this team, the Double E here in this market, the fan base should get used to some of these players here as well, because over the past, decade or so, we've seen the league turn into a league of mercenaries where you're on 1-year contracts going from highest bidder to highest bidder. This organization, they don't operate like that. Ed Hervey truly believes in people and keeping people along for the long haul. So I think that this organization is going to be different compared to other organizations here, just moving forward with how they conduct themselves. And the fans should be comfortable with that, because you're going to be able to get used to some of these marquee names that you have, and they're not just going to be jumping around team to team. Now, I did want to ask you this, Low Tide. You talk about the record, the standings, and it's time to really consider Edmonton a major player in the game. I want to ask you, do you believe that they are a threat to win the Grey Cup? Because we are so used to them having to buy back the hope by win, and I'm not sure if this team is good enough yet. I still don't like the name change. We've heard all of that, Tide. But now this team is for real, and I truly believe they have championship DNA. Do you believe that?
I do. I think that the Montreal is, whoever comes out of the West, Montreal is going to be Everest to climb. They're 9-1, and they're good, and they're deep, and they're your basic nightmare. But if you look at the West right now, I think the two best teams in the West right now are Edmonton and British Columbia. In the first weeks of the year, it was Edmonton and Saskatchewan, and we'll see where Winnipeg lands. But I'm liking this. This is a tough division, man. Calgary's 4-6, and the Elks are on top of it. They've played well. They've shown that they can win. At home, and they've shown that they can win on the road. I like what they're bringing, and I think that they've got enough playmakers, and they've got enough quality on both sides of the ball. Now you have to worry about injury, right? Fajardo's no spring chicken, but the style of play that they have, and the other thing is that there's room to grow. They have room to improve. I think the play calling could improve. I think that they're a team that every once in a while you'll get a drop ball, but those are things that you can work on and improve in the second half. I think the Elks can win the Grey Cup, and most thrilling, I think they will for sure host a playoff home game, and I don't even know if people remember how to drive to Commonwealth for a home playoff game. You have to put up signs and things. It's been so long. But this has been when's the last time? Like a decade ago, that we were, talking about this team being, like this. And it's a great feeling. And, you mentioned Hervey, you talk about a turnaround. I mean, what date did he arrive and where are they now? This is one of the great stories in the CFL. And, anybody who knows Hervey's career, how, what he was like as a player. Very passionate, very involved. Whatever the line was, he was over it. And I think he's aggressive in the front office too. And you're seeing signs of that. But like Eddie said, believes in people. When Fajardo came here, I've always liked Fajardo, but I felt like with his skill set and his size, he would not age well. And, why am I wrong? He's having a great year here, and he's got to be Eddie's age anyway.
Dang.
He's a tough cookie.
Not quite yet, though, Tide, because I'm almost your age.
No. You can't count that high. Every birthday I have, the fire department's outside until I blow the candles out.
Alan Mitchell joining us, Low Tide. You can check out the lowdown here on 1440 later in the day. And we've got Cam Tate in studio, and Tater has a question for everybody, and I want to bring it up. He says, this is for the Bombers side of things. Is Mike O'Shea past his due date in Winnipeg? And Eddie talked about loyalty with the Bombers, and they stuck together, and maybe some guys are getting a little bit long in the tooth, and guys in their late 30s and even approaching their 40s, in their 40s, playing still. Does the same go for a coach that's been around, a decade now?
Yeah, here's the thing, though. The CFL is like a league that allows coaches and managers to reinvent themselves. So he might be done in Winnipeg, but I guarantee he would get another, Wally Bono bounce in another town. And he's like, what I love about him is that he is pure CFL. He just is, just like he loves the game as much as the fans do, and there's a recognition of that, and he hates to lose, and they've done it well. They recognize talent, they pay for it, they pay for Canadians. I remember when Dembski went there. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but it was a while ago. They're they do. Not every year is going to be a great one, but they make really good bets on players, and often enough those bets have come true. Sometimes you spend too long at the fair, even if you're a great coach, and he is. But I think I think that whatever happens, he'll be in the CFL 4 years from now and on a winning team. I just don't know if it's Winnipeg.
Can I offer an opinion on this as well? I don't think I would get rid of Mike O'Shea at all. I don't think he is such a culture builder and culture setter. I don't think that's the issue with Winnipeg. Winnipeg's sitting at 5-5 right now. They lost 4 games when their starting quarterback was out. Mike O'Shea can't help that. It's not Mike O'Shea's fault that their left tackle's 40 years old. Yeah, sure, he's loyal to the guy, but the player's got to be out there playing. I think if you were able to replace some of these super aging veterans that they have still a very competitive team led by the culture of Mike O'Shea. I don't think he is the issue, even though he's been there for quite a long time. I think that they just need to upgrade the players, and you can never help when you're starting quarterbacks out. And they lost 4 games out of their 5 losses when he was out.
That's fair. I have a lot of time for that. And Ty, the other thing too is like O'Shea went and met with Toronto in the offseason. Now, I don't know how. It obviously didn't go well to the point where he's like, I'm going to leave Winnipeg. But he did go there, and maybe it's loyalty to Mike Pinball Clemens, but he made that trek.
I mean, I don't think he'll leave the league no matter what happens. But, he should have been able to say, if you have a 40-year-old left tackle, you need a left-throwing quarterback.
That was well played.
Get that southpaw going. Tide, we're quickly approaching training camp, which is crazy because September 11th is when the rookies are set to report. And then by the 16th, we're getting into main camp. And by the, I think, 19th, we have our first preseason game for the orange and blue. And then by the 29th, we're talking about game 1 of an 84-game regular season. And I'm reading your website and your off-season musings, and you're dipping back into like some trades. And I remember being there when those trades went down, and I'm like, and you talked about like a potential fracture with the fan base. I find that fascinating, but how do you come up with your off-season musings? I'm just curious because you're pumping out a lot of content, even when it's the deepest part of the summer.
Well, I would like to acknowledge not just myself, but the real heroes of the offseason. And those are guys like Bag Milk and others at Daily Face-Off Edmonton and all the cast of characters everywhere who are pumping out articles. I've always approached writing, whether it's at the Athletic or the blog or wherever, like I'm playing along at home. So how I approach it is I'm imagining Mike Babcock is, either settled into town or is staying in a really nice hotel room. He's got a big whiteboard wherever he is in his work area at Rogers, and he's figuring out lines and pairings. And because I think that, somebody like Babcock is so driven. It's once he takes the job, then the problem is, getting him to sleep and eat, on a schedule. So I'm sure he's deep in the work of that. And for Stan Bowman, he's got money, and they do have some assets, and they need a play driver. So I wrote about that, and I wrote today about the 3 things that Mike Babcock needs to have happen for him to succeed in Edmonton. And some of them is to get out of his own way, but there are others as well. But I just like to think along the lines of what could possibly be happening in the Oilers offices, because they're still busy. I mean, even when you're in cottage country, you've got the phone and you're thinking about it and mulling things over. And who's going to be third line center? And, there's going to be somebody shake loose in September. And is it a really good player? And can the Oilers afford them? Well, cap-wise, they can. So they have the assets. So, I always think the off season is the busier time, because during the regular season, it's a blur. You don't have a chance to really, you look at the lines and pairings, you look at the natural stat trick at the end of the game, you watch the games, but there's all a flow that we all see. The summer is when I think you can really add some spicy stuff, and that's what I try to do.
I like it. I enjoy it, and makes me think about things too. And then here's the other thing. I'll throw this at you because they're already doing the player tours and they're doing the European one. And Leon Draisaitl talked about Mike Babcock, and he says, "We're looking to be coached. We're looking to get better at it. I sometimes deserve to be yelled at too, just like anyone does. I don't think Babs is going to care overly much who we are in terms of that. I think sometimes that's needed." I agree with him, but I also don't think he's going to be one of the guys that does get yelled at.
Yeah, I think I think that the Mike Babcock that I remember in Toronto, he did things that really run counter to what we've seen in Edmonton. They've had two young coaches in a row in Woodcroft and Knobloch, and now you've got a veteran coach. He's got piles of wins. Got the Stanley, got everything that you would need on a resume to make the Hall of Fame, and now he's coming here to crown it. It was sort of like what Ken Holland tried to do and almost did, got to Game 7 of the 24 Stanley Cup Final. But I think for Mike Babcock, what we're going to see is he's going to roll 4 lines, which is going to be surprising to people. They'll probably knock off a couple of minutes of playing time for Leon and McDavid at 5-on-5. I suspect they won't penalty kill, so they'll be fresher as the year goes by. But that's going to put more pressure and strain on the third and fourth lines. And people will, by Christmas, people will be going, why are they playing the fourth line so much? Because it's just going to be a different feeling team. You're going to see guys out there, and you're going to have to check their number. Doc played more minutes than Nugent Hopkins tonight. Babcock will find his favorites, and often they're veteran guys. He played the daylights out of Patrick Marleau when the wheels are already off. But that's what we're going to see here, and it will be an adjustment for Draisaitl and others. But Babcock is a person who says what he means, and I think you will see less ice time for the big guys. And I think Jason Dickinson is going to be a shutdown center, third or fourth line. I think the fourth line is going to get more minutes than anybody thinks. And they need a fast start, boys, because people will love him if they start fast. If they start slow, it's, Edmonton Oilers fans have been waiting 11 years for Stanley with Connor McDavid. They're beyond impatient. And it's not Mike Babcock's fault, but it's Mike Babcock's problem today.
Ty, how do you think that this thing goes with Mike Babcock? When it's all said and done, the dust is settled. I had my reserves for sure initially, but the more I think about it, I feel like this could be a good thing. Where do you land with it?
I think the Edmonton Oilers are capable of winning the Stanley Cup with Mike Babcock as coach. I also think the Edmonton Oilers are capable of ending the Mike Babcock experiment by Christmas. I think it's as wide a range of possibilities as is humanly possible. He's a veteran coach. When things got a little dicey in Columbus, and I say little, it was more like a lot. He walked away from that, and I think that as long as Babcock feels like everybody's got his back and he's on side, it'll be a positive thing. But there's so many eyeballs on this. Like, the hockey world is watching Mike Babcock and the Edmonton Oilers for two reasons. Number one, because this could be an historic year. Babcock is he's suppression oriented. He is like attention to detail man, and that's what the Oilers need. You go back to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final in 2024. The first 2 goals against involved all of the really good players on the Edmonton Oilers making mistakes, and so. This is something he's going to, he can cajole, he can yell, he can do whatever he wants, but the play that cost them the Stanley Cup was Matthias Ekholm along the wall, trying to get the puck up out of the zone. It ends up getting rejected by Ekblad. Leon sends it back to him and immediately jailbreaks, as did every other forward up the ice. Meanwhile, Ekholm sends an errant pass to Evan Bouchard. Both defensemen aren't 100%. It's the playoffs. It gets turned over, and within a split second, the puck's in the back of the net. It's goalie, defenseman, forwards, all making mistakes on that play. Babcock, if he's Babcock still, won't allow that to happen. By the time they get to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, Leon will come down lower, offer another outlet opportunity for the defenseman, and maybe one of the defensemen isn't playing because he's hurt. It's a different world for the Edmonton Oilers. Not that they, failed in 2024. They damn near won the thing, but this is a different way of winning it, and it'll be an adjustment for the players and the fans.
Well, people are getting excited. Tide. Tim says, "Morning, boys. Season's coming up soon. Starting to get the itch now. Do we know when the Oilers car wash is? That's when we know the season is nigh." It's usually in the first few days of training camp, but yeah, it's still a little ways away. What's coming up on the show today, Tide?
Well, we got a busy day. We've got Gregor's off again, so we're relying on the young mates. But what we're going to talk about today is training camp and about, I suspect we won't have too many PTOs. Everybody feels like the roster's set, but I picked one player who's on the roster, like not the playing roster from a year ago, but he's on the roster who I want to talk about because I do believe there's a chance he makes the team, and we'll talk about that at noon.
Oh, I'm intrigued. I love it. Tide, this has been awesome. Looking forward to the show today. Thanks for doing this.
Boys, be good, and it's just so nice to see you working today, Tommy. I think it's a good thing for the whole city of Edmonton.
Big check mark beside my name on your sheet of paper auditing me, okay?
Have a good one, boys.
There you go. There's Alan Mitchell. Low Tide, Lowdown coming up this afternoon here on Sports 1440. Tide made a funny comment, not a funny comment, but a good one that somebody else who is a peer of ours in the media made to me over the weekend on Friday night after the football game. We just brief discussion about the Oilers, and Tide said the Babcock experiment could blow up by December. And this other person in the media said the same
Failed
thing.
to say, man.
But it could be the other way around. It could be total glory too. Who knows?
I have had a lot of success in my career with tough love. Like I like to be liked by my coaches. Like I didn't like being in the doghouse.
Yeah.
But like playing with that urgency and tough love, knowing that, you're never totally safe. Now hockey's different. You are safe on the roster.
Yeah.
They're not getting rid of you. But I've had my best seasons when like it's highly competitive and expectations are high from my coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good coach knows when to give you a kick when you need it.
Yeah.
Put his arm around you when you need it.
Totally, TG. Because everybody needs to have their bat patted a little bit too.
Yep. It feels good sometimes. All right. We got to step out for a quick breather. That was great with Low Tide. When we come back, more of your texts. Keep those coming in. A bunch have come in. We like that. 1-833-401-1440. You can jump into the conversation on YouTube. A little quieter over there, but it's all good. And we'll probably talk about the Elks a little bit more in the CFL, and those Red Blacks really do suck. This is the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365 on Sports 1440.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the Pro Press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters.
It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City. Nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly. 18 years or older. Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now at Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Oh, yeah, little BA. Eddie Steele rocking out in
You
studio.
see me on my kit, my drum kit.
Oh, you were right in time, too. That was beautiful.
That last finish, you saw that?
You're not a one-trick pony,
No,
Eddie
no,
Steele.
no, hey.
Even Tater was rocking out. He's laughing over there in the corner. Oh, we're having a great first hour on a Monday of the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Tom, Eddie, Cam, Fenny, and Dono in studio. A bunch of texts have come in, and I want to get to some of them. We have Spec coming up at the start of hour number 2 with On the Mark. Well, this is funny. I'm going to go to Paul on this, who had a couple of Alan Jackson experience references in his text. Alan Jackson experience, very popular at the Elks tailgate, sang the anthem the other night, did a nice job. Paul says, great fantasy football punishment. Take a week's vacation, follow the Alan Jackson experience. Some people don't like Alan Jackson, evidently, but there's a niche there.
There's a niche.
And a market. I remember at my old station, we had a tailgate spot.
Yeah.
And the Alan Jackson experience had the merch tables, plural.
Multiple. Wow.
That took that spot up.
Wow.
And I remember being like, really? The experience took that
There's
over.
a hunger. There's a hunger.
You know what? Where there's a hunger, you need to feed the beast.
Hey.
And that makes you money.
No doubt. Hey.
Dollar bills, yo.
Money makes the world go round.
It does, unfortunately, but it does. All right, here's King of Fort Nasty. Says, good morning, Tommy, Duke, Fenny, Eddie, and Tater, and anyone I may be missing. The Duke also likes to add some spice in the summer. A few more squirts of Worcestershire in his Caesar. Cheers, King of Fort Nasty. And the Duke actually asked you for your Harvey's order. Did you see that?
He did.
He texted it in.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I didn't see.
Brando did. Go to sleep, Brandon. Sleep in, buddy.
That's funny. He saw me leaving the stadium. I left a little bit early because I watch. Usually at TG, I watch some of the second half at home on the TV.
Yeah.
Because I really like to lock in, and so I'm prepared to come and talk about it. Because as you know, when you're there, yes, you're watching the game, but you can't really watch it. Yeah, because I have Elks Nation that I need to do and do a serious post-game show and things of that nature. So I got to be able to recap it properly. So PVR is my best friend. So he's the Duke and Connor Halley. I'm walking through the parking lot and they said, is that the real deal? And I looked over and it was them. And I said, boys, as you guys stopped me, I was literally just thinking of what am I going to get from Harvey's on my way home? They stopped me. So the order was an order of fried pickles, an order of French fries.
Frickles.
Yeah, the frickles. I got a hot dog, actually, because I was jonesing for a dog, but I didn't want to get one at Commonwealth, just because I've had a lot of Commonwealth dogs this year. So I wanted a different dog. Got to have a dog on game day.
Yep.
And then I had a double cheeseburger. So it was modest.
Nice.
I could have had more, actually.
Harvey's is good, man.
It was good. You know what? I hadn't had it in a while, man. It was hitting TG. In the value menu, the price was hitting too, man.
The value menu, you get the great price, and then you stack a few things up.
That's it. That's the way to go.
Sometimes it hits the spot.
Combo be damned, man. I'm going value menu items.
Sometimes I don't need a fountain drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm give me my agua.
I'll take.
And
an
I don't want
agua
to. I don't want to
happily.
pay for the bottle either.
Yeah.
So I'm so cheap. I figure out my ways around it.
No,
So
you're
value
fiscally
menu.
responsible,
Yeah, it's
Eddie.
a little buffet.
I love it. Jay and Victoria texted in. I met Jay and Victoria and his wife who came into town a couple weeks ago. Great to meet them. Jay says, welcome back. Hats off to the Double E. They came out and played much better. Some great pass coverage by the defense. The 8-3 looks amazing. The Lions are coming on. If they can have good Labor Day games and be 10-3 would be a statement for sure. Have a great show, guys. And then Tim texts in and says, what a gorgeous night Friday at Commonwealth. Can't get better than that. Would have liked a few more thousand in attendance, but it was loud and little forecast of what's to come in the playoffs. I hope so. I really hope so. Ben Dangle says, are the Elks nice? They're very nice.
They're sweet.
They're sweet. And Matt and Leduc says, temperatures are sure high to be high. Anytime the Alan Jackson experience is here, he's crazy about the mercury.
So speaking of high temperatures,
tell me.
and we gotta talk to him about this here in the next segment. Mr. Mark Spector ran into him down at the game.
You did? Oh,
28
excellent.
boys, it's 28 degrees outside, and I was in the Jackie Parker room. So are you familiar with that?
Yes, great spot.
That's where I saw Spec, right? They only let the who's in there, I guess.
Oh, yes.
But it's a hot night out, TG. You knew that. It was a hot night out.
And I suited up.
Mark Spector's in the Jackie Parker room with a sweater on.
Really?
At the game. So I'm getting grilled because I'm wearing a tank top. I had my guns out.
Sure.
I see Spec in there with a hoodie on, a sweater, and his claim is he had just bought it. So okay, I'll give you that one, Spec.
But why? It's
But
28.
man, it was cooking, and he had a sweater on. It was hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Indoors too.
Well, we'll have to ask him about that. Let's get Jason's take, and then I want to hear from Fenny and Dono as well. Haven't heard from them yet, and I apologize, boys. That's on me. Jason says, love Eddie's take on most things, but especially the Elks this year. I too was high on them this year and predicted a turnaround. Hopefully they go all the way. The hype is real, man. The hype is real. Dono, Fenny, what's your take over the weekend and what we saw?
Well, I mean, I think you guys summed it up pretty damn well in the first segment. And in terms of the Elks, it was, I'm not going to put it better than Eddie you did in the first Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? It's things started out kind of poorly, and then they kind of turned it up from there. The Bombers are just in a weird spot, and I think you guys have touched on this, but they feel old. They are what they are.
Are they confused?
They're confused. They're confuzzled.
Confuzzled.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't know what the expectation is now with this Bombers team. It's not directionless. Like, you can see the attempt, but it's just not going to work, I don't think, anymore. But for the Elks, like, you got to win games when you don't have your A game, and that was clearly not the A game.
Right.
So that's just the sign of a good team, right? That's always been my opinion in sports, is when you can win with that type of game, you're a legit team.
Benny?
I'm so in on the Double E. It's not even funny.
I love it. I love when I see you guys when I'm walking by on the east side of the stands.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I see Fenny there too.
I unfortunately could not make it this time. I didn't have to. I decided to go up north, but I kept up to date. Okay, Tater's already laughing at me, I think.
Yes, he is.
But I was keeping up to date. Luckily, unfortunately, Deck wasn't there, so I couldn't get my live tweeting from the game like I normally do when I can't make it, because he was away even. So I was staying pretty up to date on the TSN app, and I was just like, oh man, 16-0, like that's brutal. And then game of crib later, it's like Vincent Blanchard walks it off. I'm like, holy crap, they did it again. So I'm very much looking forward to I know they have the bye week now, but the Labor Day game.
Let's go.
And the Labor Day rematch.
Let's go.
Listen, the Labor Day rematch, one of my favorite days, just like in sports in general. Just like I've been going to it since I was a very young child. So I'm very fired up for this one. And Eddie, I like your idea of pushing 40K, because you know what that means? I can get my upper bowl tickets, baby.
That upper bowl guaranteed. I'll say that now. I'll put my name on it. That will be opened up.
I sure as hell hope so.
I'll put my name on it.
I want to see a big, fat, raucous crowd at Commonwealth for the rematch. I'm not working the Labor Day game this year. I got to do it last year. It was awesome down in Calgary. I'll be in Calgary this week for Ticats stamps, but I think I might join Connor Halley when he's on location.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, to
okay.
take in
yeah.
the Labor Day
What
game.
about the rematch? Do you know?
Yeah, I've got that one.
You'll be getting that
Yeah,
one.
I've got every Edmonton game. This is my one Calgary game. They gave it to Claire.
Gave it to Claire.
I know. Why? Because she is the queen of the CFL on TSN.
Oh, no.
I'm the low man on this one. I mean, I'm nice. I smile. I think I keep good hygiene, but I'm not. I'm still working my way.
You're not Claire.
I'm
you
not
know?
Claire.
You're aesthetically, you're there, but you're not Claire.
It's not the same. She's fantastic. She'll be doing that game in Calgary. I'll be doing the rematch. So look forward to that. Maybe go watch with Connor Halley when he's on location for the watch party. Okay, we got to step out. We do need to get to a Sports 1440 update. We do have spec coming up next to kick off hour number 2. This Sports 1440 update is brought to you by All Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That is All Star Construction. Here's Donovan.
The Sports 1440 update.
MLB scores from last night. The Jays lost the series for the first time since July the 26th as they fell 8-3 to the New York Yankees. The Rays took down the Orioles 3-1. Tigers collapsed, losing 11-7. The Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. Guards toppled the Rockies 7-2. Cubbies annihilated the Mariners last night 19-2. This is the second time in a week that the Mariners have given up 19 or more runs. And in the Little League Classic, the Braves double up the Brewers 4-2. Ashton Genty in some NFL news. It is not anything torn. It's just a sprained ankle. In the CPKC, of course, live from Edmonton over the weekend, Miyu Yamashita took home the title, winning by 9 strokes. Notable Canadians in the field, and Huang finished tied for 4th. Aphrodite Dang was T7, and Brooke Henderson finished in a 4-way tie for 13th. Coming up right after the break, we've got Sportsnet Park Spectre. I'm Donovan Paulson. That is your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself. Signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
The Chicken Parmy Burger. McExtreme pulled pork, garlic and black pepper chicken McNuggets, cheesy bacon McFlavor fries, and the Stroop Waffle McFlurry. You've scrolled them. You've screenshotted them. You've never been able to order them until now. This is the McDonald's World Menu Heist. The most wanted menu items taken from around the world, now in Canada. Get them while you can. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Backshot Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bashawconcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
For hour number 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Tom Gazzola, Eddie Steele, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and the one and only Cam Tate in studio. Mark Spector ready to rock and roll. It's a long way to the top, and the Elks are making their way to the top of the West Division standings. On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. For the remainder of August, proceeds from every vehicle sold will go towards the Summerlin wildfire victims. Get a great vehicle and support a great cause only at northgategm.com. Good day to you, Spec, and great to be back here with you. And I know I was away and you've been away, but here we are reunited. And I'm going to start with something Eddie brought up because he saw you at the game on Friday. It was 28 degrees. I felt all of it down at field level wearing a suit. And he said he found you wearing a brand new hoodie. What the hell are you doing, Spec? What's going on with that?
Wearing the double E hoodie. That was actually not a hoodie, just a nice sweatshirt.
Oh, sweatshirt. Sorry.
Just a nice sweatshirt. Yeah. Well, I had people had a choice. I could either walk around wearing a muscle shirt like Eddie Steele was, or I would cover it up and put on a sweatshirt. I thought folks would prefer the latter.
I'm sorry I had to sell you out, Spec. It gave me a good laugh, man. It was good to see you, though. That thing looked good on you. The green is your color, Spec. Green is your color.
You know what? I got to say, like, you won't catch me wearing an Oilers jersey because I cover the Oilers, and it's my job, and I'm objective, and I don't wear Oilers gear, even though at a golf tournament, they'll give you a golf shirt or something once in a while, but it's just not something you do. No. But I grew up on the double E, and I do not cover them. And as long as that is, I'm happy to wear a double E shirt and support the local team. They need some support, and they're giving it back. They were very, very good in that game the other night.
Okay, Spec, then I'll go to this text that came in from Schwackhammer. It says, morning, guys. I'm a bit disappointed in the crowd at the game. It's more than just staying away. It's many people have no money left once bills are paid to go out anymore. That's the reality of it. As I am living it, I don't have much left after payday, and going to an event is just not feasible. Tax. And that is unfortunately true for many people. Times are tough, but it is a more affordable option. There are ways to get in, and if you can make it, hopefully a bunch of people do. So do you think, Spec, that now people are finally, we talked about the Elks building trust with the fan base again. Is it there? Is there still more of a gap to be bridged, or what do you see after that win on Friday night and then this stretch where they're 8-3 now?
Yeah, no, I mean, this isn't a fluke team now. This isn't some team that's had a hot start and it's going to level off and not, and not be good. Listen, every season comes down to one game series at the end. And, if you're Edmonton, hopefully you win them. It doesn't mean you will. Maybe someone beats you in a semifinal or something. Who knows what happens? But no, they're a legit team, Tom. They've given us many days in a row of very entertaining football, and more so very competitive football. They're in every game and they win most of them. And I get it. There's a lot of reasons not to go, and I'll never tell a fan where to spend his money or how to act or what to do. But I would say to you, if you're staying away from the Elks because you think it's some kind of a facade or some kind of a fake, deal here. No, that's not true at all. There, if you can afford to go, you should go, because it's been fantastic football all year long.
Spec, I know you don't cover the Double E. As you mentioned, you're a fan of them, but you do keep a keen interest from afar, even potentially, because I do know you watch most of the games from the cabin.
Yeah, every game. I don't miss a game.
But I do want to ask you, you are a smart guy and you do know sport very well. I want to get your opinion on the culture change around this organization, because ever since they really brought in the new people from Chris Morris on down, we have seen this culture change. So I just would like to get your opinion on the impact of that and how it's gone out.
Yeah, well, and it's different here too, because this was an organization with one of the strongest cultures in Canadian sport, right? The Eskimos days were their alumni. They couldn't have done a better job. Once an Eskimo, always an Eskimo. Guys bled these colors long after they played in the league. It was a fantastic organization, again, in all of Canadian sport. I'm not just talking the CFL. And then it disappeared, and then it was gone. And we really got a look and a taste of the other side of what it was like to be like the team in Ottawa that's had 15 different leadership groups and barely ever found the right one. All the incarnations of the Alouettes until they finally got it right. They were, you never knew what you were going to get. We got a taste of that in Edmonton, and we didn't like it. And it was frankly a little embarrassing to have fallen from what we had to what they gave us those first, 6 years of the Elks, or whatever the number is. So now to get in, how did you get it back, Eddie? You got it back by bringing in a member from that old Eskimos culture in Chris Morris, another member from the old Eskimos culture in Ed Hervey. And those guys, Ed Hervey got in trouble for saying that we're going to bring back the Eskimo way. Well, that's exactly what they had to do, because the Eskimo way was the right way. And they're bringing that back with the right people. I ran into an alumni at the tailgate the other day, and he said he hadn't been around much at all the last 5 or 6 years, and he was back and was proud to be back. And he knew all the people involved, and he trusted them. And he said they're finally going the right way. So in this city, we've known what it's like to be on top. And when we found out what it was like to be disorganized and poorly run, and run by people that don't know anything about the Eskimos or the Elks or our way of football, we were a little embarrassed by that. And getting it back to what we have today it's a real reminder that it can slip quick. So you got to hang on to what you got.
Well said. I think you gave Eddie goosebumps.
He did.
Was smiling from ear to ear.
Man, when people poo-poo it, but the Eskimo way is real. And let's just call a spade here. We're all adults. Yes, Chris Morris, Ed Hervey, they are the Eskimo way. The Eskimo way works. And that's what gave me the goosebumps when Spec said it, because it works and we're seeing it. So yes, the name is the name, but the culture of what bone means, it works.
Randy Ambrosi came here when the Thompson family purchased the team, and he was the commissioner at the time, just to remind everyone. And he said, it's okay to say Eskimos. And then I think that was kind of echoed by Chris Morris, Ed Hervey, Mark Killam, I know, was on board. And that's coming from a guy who was a Stampeder for 20 years and won championships with them. So that culture, maybe under a different name, but it's still the Double E, but it seems to be working. And Spec, you witnessed it firsthand, and it is interesting. Now, what do you think about this Labor Day Classic that's coming up? Because I know we have the bye week this week for the Double E, and then we've got that game in Calgary, and then the rematch should be juiced up too when it comes back to Commonwealth.
Yeah, it always the Labor Day and the rematch games always, they don't mirror the standings always. Just because Calgary was way better than Edmonton still ripped off one of those games so many years, even though you thought Calgary's going to sweep us. Back in the day when Edmonton was a superior team, it was opposite. You'd think, Edmonton's going in there, they're going to win them both. They almost never won them both, right? There's something about this series that and this year it's Calgary. Calgary's what are they, 4-8 or something? 4-6?
5, I think now.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, it stands in front of me. They're 4-6, excuse me.
4-6.
So they're last place in the West. But that doesn't mean that the Elks, who are 6 points ahead of them, 8 points ahead of them, are going to just walk in and win both games. It never seems to work that way. There's something about this matchup. and it's the biggest regular season game of the year in both stadiums, and tons of fun. If you've never been to Calgary for a game, for a Labor Day game, and you're an Elks fan, as a younger guy, we used to go down all the time. And what a blast we had down there. Like, it was so much fun. You go down, you spend your Saturday, Sunday night down there, have some fun, go to the game Monday and drag your rear end home afterwards. It's fun. It's a great time. I highly recommend it. And let's hope that we get to 40,000 when that series comes back to Edmonton. Is it the next Friday, Eddie?
Saturday. It'll be the
Saturday. Perfect. Saturday game. Let's open up the upper decks and listen, the Elks are guaranteed to be in first place when that series starts now, right? Yep. They're going to be in first place in the West. They got 16 points. Calgary has 8. Like, they're in firm control of the West right now with 2 games in a row against the last place team in the West. So this is a pretty good spot.
It is. And you mentioned that, forget the records, throw them out for the Labor Day game. Anything can happen. With Edmonton sitting 8-3, you go down there with high expectations. I even brought out the broom word earlier and say sweep the series spec, but you nailed it, man. Having gone down there and playing in that game on Labor Day, it is hard to win in McMahon. I've never won the Labor Day game. Even in 15 when we won the Grey Cup, I never won down there. It is a hard place to play at. And they got this momentum. That stupid white horse starts galloping up and down the sideline behind you when they score touchdowns, man. It's hard. I have flashbacks. I'm PTSD right now. Tommy, take the mic, man.
It's hostile territory if you're wearing green and gold, as Speck alluded to. And I've been to many a Labor Day Classic at McMahon, and yeah, it's not pretty when you're from Edmonton and down there. But yeah, maybe it's different this year, Speck.
This is the year to go. I mean, it's been a long time since you went. I can't remember the last time, an Edmonton football team went down there this far ahead of Calgary in the standings. It's literally first place and last place in the West heading into this thing.
Yeah.
I will need a statistician to figure out when the last time that happened.
Let's call Dave Moyer, who's headed to this Canadian Football Hall of
Fame. Yeah,
Fame.
where's Dave Moyer when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I have one more for you, Speck and Eddie. I'll tie in the LPGA event that was here over the weekend. Looked like it was tremendous, great crowds, a lot of people, a lot of friends posting on social media, and outside of the mosquitoes, it looked like it was a fantastic weekend. But on the broadcast, guys, they use the term City of Champions when talking about Edmonton, and I noticed that. I'll ask you this. Was getting rid of that motto as bad as rebranding Klondike Days as capital X?
Oh, boy. You first, Eddie.
Yeah, what's very ironic and funny to me about that whole situation with the City of Champions is they removed those signs after 2014 or heading into 2015. And then we won the Grey Cup the fall, like a couple of months later after they took the signs down. So to me, that's just egg on your face in terms of the city at that point in time. Because yes, Edmonton is the City of Champions, and I am very prideful of that. And you're, as a champion for the city of Edmonton, you're never going to tell me that it's not the City of Champions. Right. I'm not the guy to have that conversation with. Talk to someone else about that.
Yeah, no, it was I don't know. I'm not sure what city council's aim or goal was there. I don't know. It's not like there was 5 City of Champions across Canada and we were just part of a crowd.
Right.
Edmonton is the City of Champions, has been not the only one ever. Pittsburgh was. There's other cities that have made that claim, but in Canada, we were the City of Champions. And why that was a change that didn't need changing. I'd say to you, probably the Eskimos' name falls under that same category to a lesser degree, but that was certainly that didn't offend anybody. City of Champions, it separated us from other cities across the country. It didn't only relate to sports teams. It was also in reference to all the great people and volunteers and the things we do in the city. It's a hell of a moniker, and why we just chucked it in the dustbin is just another good day for Edmonton City Council, boys.
And I'm no counselor or anything like that, but those signs had been up for a long time, right? They've
Sure.
been on the welcome to Edmonton signs.
Yeah.
Doesn't it cost more money to go and take them down? Like financially, aren't you putting resources now to go and take that down? It's not like it was costing you anything having it there previously. So what are we doing spending money taking down something that is very prideful representing your city?
Yeah.
Can anyone name whatever they changed it to?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Me neither.
No clue. Blank. Edmonton. Blank.
Right. What are we known as now? Like, is there an equivalent that works for Edmonton now that people use?
The only one I could think of, without like slighting the city, because that's what we tend to do to ourselves as Edmontonians, Gateway to the North, but I don't like it. So
Yeah, what are we in the Klondike here? Like, are we gold panning? Is that what we're doing now?
Evidently not, because we changed it to
Holy
capital X.
cow.
I'm glad you guys played along with me on that one. Anyway, on the broadcast, they were alluding to City of Champions, and I'm like, it did reference the CFL Grey Cups and the NHL Stanley Cups, and the 80s were tremendous sports-wise for the city, and there's been great other champions, Olympics and all that, but and a lot of it too had to do with the 87 tornado, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It did for sure. And it just, listen, we've got a lot of great things about our city, and we are under celebrated, and people tend, as a guy that's traveled, I'm fortunate to do a lot of travel around, and a lot of people think of Edmonton. When they think of Edmonton, they think of the negative things well before the many positive things. I live here, raised a family here. I do it again the same way. So, you know what? We love our city, and if someone out there doesn't, great. Tough luck. Stay away.
Hey, let me say this too, Spec. I just got back from a vacation in Winnipeg, where I'm from. And yes, I know it's Winnipeg. It's easy to poo-poo Winnipeg, but it just made me feel so prideful to be from Edmonton. I retired from the CFL after 2018. I was in Saskatchewan, moved my family back here because I love Edmonton. I am one of the biggest champions for the city of Edmonton in terms of I will go scream from the mountaintops how good of a city it is, the quality of people that are in Edmonton, the infrastructure. It gets poo-pooed on a lot, man, but Edmonton is a hell of a city, and I love being an Edmontonian.
I'd say particularly the sports talk radio is superior.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Well, the thing is, there is no sports talk radio anywhere else, so we win by default.
That's it, baby.
In Vancouver. Oh no. How about this? Edmonton, home of the real deal Eddie Steele.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice ring to it. Spec, fantastic as always, my friend. Great to see you. Great to catch up with you. Let's do it again.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to be back. That was On the Mark with Mark Spector, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. We're going to take a quick breather. The football talk continues on the other side of the break. We're going to discuss the Tennessee Titans with Teresa Walker from the Associated Press right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet 365. Pardon me.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
.25 on a Monday in the Big E. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Check out Bet365's early payout for baseball. When your team goes up by 5 runs, you get paid out immediately. No stress about blowing a big lead. Download the app and see what early payout's all about. Tom Gazzola, Eddie Steele, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and Cam Tate all in studio with you. And joining us over the phone, it's Teresa Walker from the AP, covering the Titans down in Tennessee, a place I love to visit. Great covering Oilers and Nashville Predators games down there. And we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL. Teresa, thank you for coming on this morning. Really appreciate it. I know the Titans took care of business against the Seahawks last night. It wasn't pretty. Seattle didn't play many of its starters, if any. What can we take away from a preseason win like that one last night?
Well, no starters for Seattle.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
maybe the kicker, the special teams guys, but on offense, defense, no. Mike McDonald protected his guys, and smartly so. The thing we can take away from last night is a couple things. Seattle, they go home with 3 players damaged and hurt, major injuries that'll affect them this season over the joint practice and the game. Jake Bobo was carted off with a right knee injury, placed on IR on Saturday. That was from the joint practice on Friday. And then last night, first offensive drive, Mason Richmond, a backup offensive lineman, major injury. They were looking at his right leg, so no indication exactly what that was. And then on the first defensive series for the Seahawks, you had rookie Bud Clark, the 64th pick overall, breaks his right ankle.
Oh.
And Mike McDonald says that's going to be several months for the kid. I mean, you could tell that it was not a great injury because players from both teams came over to kind of tap him on the shoulder there as they put him on the cart and prepare to take him off the field. So for everyone wondering, well, wait a minute, why are they not playing any starters? Last night was example A on why you do that. Now for the Titans, example B on why you do play starters. You've got a new coach, new coaching staff, new schemes, and they are literally they need as many snaps as possible to work through the changes. It was one of those things that it was over after the first quarter, 16-3, won by the Seattle backups, but because it is a game, the Titans kept clawing back with field goal after field goal and came away with the win, which won't matter whatsoever next Sunday when they have the final roster cut downs. But they're still honing in on some things. They gave up a long touchdown pass on the first drive, which Saleh, we just got done with him a few minutes ago, and he said he thought that was awesome because it gives them coaching points that they can fix now and try to fix this before the opener on September 13th against his old team, the Jets. Cam Ward, he had a moment where he's scrambling to his right. Chaz Surratt comes and makes a great play. Such a great play that both Salah and Cam Ward complimented him after the game on his effort in that moment. Ball security has to be better. That Titans offense, Cam Ward's like, well, we're fine. We're getting closer. And, they had like 3 deep shots that they just couldn't connect on in the pass game last night against the defense that Salah says is designed to make you check it down and just get the ball out of your hand. So now that said, the true test comes in a couple weeks. So teaching points for the Titans, the injury room's going to be, the rehab room's going to be very busy for the Seahawks thanks to this trip.
Teresa, you talk about the time of transition for the Titans, and it's been a rough few years, and Robert Saleh coming in and taking over, breathing new energy into the organization. How has his first camp under him gone so far? Are you seeing little bits and pieces of progress? And I know it's really early, but are you seeing some little signs of seeds being planted?
Well, I'll say this. It comes from the players. In the first few days, left tackle Dan Moore told us that it just feels more organized and professional with this coaching staff. And, Saleh brought in 2 other former head coaches in the NFL to be on his staff. Brian Dable is his offensive coordinator. Gus Bradley is defensive coordinator. And it's a stark contrast to the last 2 years. Brian Callahan, fired after 6 games into his second season, had never been a head coach before.
Right.
He was also calling the plays, which he had never done before. His offensive coordinator was promoted to that level for the first time with Tennessee. Same on the defensive side of the ball. It's a good thing they went out and got Mike McCoy last February, because when they fired Brian Callahan and, they were scrambling trying to figure out who else could we name as the interim coach? Yes, you had Bones Fossil, but the best other target, the only other guy who'd been an NFL head coach was Bill Callahan, and he went out the door with his son. So, here you just have, these guys have been around. They know what they're doing, and that feeds into things. And then the second part is just, Peter Skoronsky said this on radio. I haven't had a chance to ask him about this, but he said that the practices are harder, that it feels that there's such a concentration on trying to make these practices feel like game type situations that it feels like they're getting a game's worth of reps every day in practice, and that it's just busier, harder practice for a young man going into his 4th NFL season. So this is his 3rd different head coaching, and staff. So now, does that translate once the season starts? We will see.
Teresa, I'm very curious about the offensive line and the position battles that are taking place on the offensive line. In terms of the starters, are you expecting anybody to overtake or overcome any of the starting positions, or is it going to be essentially the same unit as last year?
Well, remember this. There's so many changes from last year. I mean, the Titans were the biggest spenders in free agency in March in the NFL. There's new starters at cornerbacks in the secondary. Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott. They brought in John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson. They traded for him in February. They drafted Keldrick Falk. They brought in, there's going to be a lot of changes on the defensive side just because of the free agent spending. Now on offense, there's essentially 2 spots that were open, at least on the offensive line. And so they seem to have those settled, although they haven't said it yet. Austin Schlottman was a veteran who seems to have come in and he seems to have won that center job. And a 5th round rookie out of Arkansas has started each of the first 2 preseason games at right guard, Fernando Carmona Jr. So, and then, they're not listing Carnell Tate as a starter. They're going with Wan'Dale Robinson and Calvin Ridley. But let's face it, in this offense, it feels like Carnell Tate is essentially going to be that 3rd starting wide receiver. So, the offense had fewer positions, even though they've got a lot of room to improve. So there is a lot of changeover. I mean, the number of players that are still on this roster from 2 years ago, that's the thing. I had someone say to me last night, it's been 28 years of this franchise struggling. And it's like, well, that dates back to the Super Bowl appearance. But that's the thing. Rosters churn and the turnover is so strong from year to year that it is amazing. And for a franchise that didn't re-sign any draft picks from 2020, 21, 22, guess what? It wasn't easy to say. It was not tough to say goodbye to some of the people and go get better.
Right.
They hope.
Absolutely. Teresa Walker joining us from the Associated Press covering the Tennessee Titans. Now, having said that, is there optimism starting to bud around this franchise? It didn't sound too optimistic from the comment that was made to you, but are people starting to see that maybe things are potentially on the right track? And how do you see the Titans stacking up in the AFC South this year?
Well, when you've gone 6-28 combined over the last 2 seasons, no, there's no optimism. There's been 4 straight losing seasons. It's more like, show me what you can do, and then I'll get excited. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a enthusiasm for Carnell Tate. Folks love Jeffrey Simmons coming off his first All-Pro season. So there's hope. Football fans want to hope and be optimistic. But there is a lot of show me what you can do right now in Nashville for the Titans. That said, guys, when you change things over so much, if you and the Titans start this season with the first 2 games at home, hadn't happened since 2010. This schedule is going to give them a chance to find some rhythm and develop, it's home road. It's a really nice. Every kickoff is at noon Central Time for the Titans this season because nobody wants to see them in prime time. It's that simple, based on history. So I'll say this: 6 wins should be the minimum if you're a competent NFL franchise. We'll see if they can get beyond there. Guys, the AFC South has a knack for sending not 1 but 2 teams to the playoffs. It happened again this last season with Jacksonville and Houston. There are questions around this division for me about the Colts, about Jacksonville. Yes, I know what Trevor Lawrence did, but it's going to be interesting. It's the NFL. That 17th game makes it tougher to have a winning record, but if you get to 9-8, things are going to be looking really good for Robert Saleh.
Hey, Teresa, I want to say congratulations to you on the phenomenal career that you've had as you've announced your retirement. This will be your last season covering the Titans after covering them for 30-plus years. I want to get your overall opinion on one of the more exciting players that I'm sure you've covered that I grew up watching, and that's Chris Johnson with his ALS announcement that he had a couple of, I guess it would have been about a month or so ago. I just want to get your thoughts on how that's been received by the organization, by the community, and just the support that Chris Johnson has had since he's announced that he is battling ALS.
Well, first, thank you. And then for Chris Johnson, absolutely stunning. I actually talked to him for a story in 2024 because he was working through the NFL in a program for former players to see if they wanted to become scouts. And, to hear him when he made his announcement, and it was actually the end of June, which shows how time is flying, stunning. To see the state that he's in now, and he said he's gone from being able to pick up his daughter a year ago to can't, pick up a cup this year, and having to use technology to help him speak. Heartbreaking. And, for people that saw him do such amazing things in this town, he looked like he was gliding and everyone else was just churning furiously trying to catch him and couldn't when he was on the field running away to the end zone. It's been heartening, though, to see the response, not just from the Titans. The day they reported started training camp, their ownership and top bosses all did the ice bucket challenge. Chris Johnson restarted that to bring more attention to the disease and to help raise more money for research. The Titans players wanted to do their own last week. Last Tuesday, Jeff Simmons and the rest, they did their own. We've seen them all around the NFL, from Roger Goodell to you name it, doing it. And when the Titans did it, Tim Shaw did it or watched. Guys, he's also a former Titan who is in a wheelchair dealing with ALS. He was diagnosed in 2014, and he credits Chris Johnson with giving him hope to keep fighting this disease. So it's absolutely horrific news to see how this disease is affecting Chris Johnson, but to see how people have responded, including Chris Johnson, it's the one bright piece out of all of this.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, that's awful news, but hopefully some good comes out of this and raising awareness again with the Ice Bucket Challenge. It's a good way to do it. Teresa, thank you for the time this morning. Look forward to seeing if the Titans can get things back on track. That new stadium looks wonderful. How close is it, by the way? We're a year away, right?
It is on schedule to be ready for the 2027 season. They expect it to be done as scheduled in February.
Wow.
So, yeah, they are ready. They have made great strides with this stadium. And, guys, it looks gorgeous.
Well, it'll be done in time for you to step out of the press box into a luxury suite. How about that?
I can't afford those, but I won't mind if somebody wants me to come help them next season in that new press box. It won't be as nice as the current stadium's press box, so that's the one bad thing.
Oh, wow. Geez, they always forget about us, don't they? Or
they just stick us way up high.
Yep, exactly. Well, Teresa, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for the time, and enjoy the season. Maybe we're catching up throughout the season.
Sounds good. Thank you.
There you go. There's Teresa Walker from the Associated Press covering the Tennessee Titans. I love that they went and re-emphasized the powder blue with the red trim.
I'm down with that.
Houston Oilers look.
That's clean.
Yeah,
it's
real
clean.
Warren Moon.
Classic.
Yes, sir. I watched was it a Football Life on the 93 Oilers and how they were supposed to be so good and just like fell apart, internal strife, and that kind of led to them.
The drama of it all.
Yeah, moving to Tennessee and all that. Yeah. So anyway, great stuff there from Teresa Walker from the Associated Press. Really appreciate her time. We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, it'll be In or Out with Donovan and final segment with Eddie on this Monday edition of the Gazzola Show presented by Bet365.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout at Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hard-working truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Do you know why people love working at GS Construction? It's honest work. It's work that needs to be done. And we're really good at what we do. That's why GS Construction has been in business for over 50 years. We won't be wearing a top hat and tails, more like hard hat and boots, because we're heading underground to keep the water flowing in and out of your homes and businesses in Edmonton. GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and top men. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. featuring triaxle, tandem, single-axle trucks including cab and chassis, decks, diggers, dumps, pickers, tractors, vacs, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
So how was your game? Great game. Great game. Had a tough back 40. You mean the back 9? Yeah, that. Had this one hole with a wicked cat's paw. Dog leg? And I sharked it into the sandbox. You shanked it into the sand trap. Sounds exciting. It was.
You don't have to be a golfer to enjoy a great meal at Colonial Bar and Grill at Colonial Golf Club. But if you do want to enjoy a round, the greens are great. Only 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont. Colonial Golf Club. For more details and to book, visit colonial.ca.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$8:44 here on the Gazzola Show. Montana to Rice. I got to give him some love for this. This text says, great question, Eddie, about Chris Johnson. CJ2K is a legend. You heard Teresa Walker, who was on in our last segment, talking about his battle with ALS. Well done, Eddie Steele in studio with us. Cam Tate as well. Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick. I am Tom Gazzola. And it's been a fun Monday. Good to be back. Hope you're enjoying it as well. In the deep of summer, I saw some green on the broadcast of the LPGA. I saw some yellow. Tom got sad.
And you're not talking about green and gold double E.
No,
you're talking about autumn.
I'm talking about autumn. Leaves on the ground.
Yes, the fall is on its way.
It's August. What are we doing here?
I was even thinking last night, I was just getting the house tidied up and whatnot around the end of the night. It was about 9:45, pitch black outside. And I thought, man, a month ago, this was like prime daylight still, you know?
Well, even this morning I woke up, I'm like, coming to work, and I'm like, it's dark.
It's
turn on the lights on the car.
Times are changing.
No, it just means hockey season's around the corner. If that helps, I know a lot of people, the itch is starting to get there. Once the calendar flips, I find for me, Labor Day, after the Labor Day Classic, it's like, okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Hockey's coming, but we got to get to the rematch as well.
And then NFL start too, right?
Oh, yeah.
College ball. It's like such an exciting time of year.
Everything is happening.
Yeah.
Everything is happening in sports. It's exciting. Let's enjoy these last couple of weeks. That's how I look at it.
Still got some golf in me too.
Yeah. Hey, great golf.
3 tournaments this week.
Ooh, we got one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are we playing together?
Your action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you, me, Mike Arcuri,
Oh,
and Brian
nice.
Cheeseman
Oh,
from the Elks.
nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. That'll be fun.
I'm excited. Very excited. Okay. I'm also excited about In or Out, brought to you by the Oilers Nation Golf Tournament. There are 5 foursomes left. Make a team and register to play on Friday, August 28th at Mill Woods. Loads of prizes, competitions, and fun in support of Gregor's grads. Sign up at nationexperiences.ca. Here's Dono.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Alrighty, boys. First up on the agenda, the Elks. You touched on it a little earlier in the show, but I'm saying the Elks are going to sweep the Labor Day affair.
Ooh, Eddie's got his broom out.
Yeah, there we go, Donnie. There we go. Thank you. And Donnie, come on, man. Bring that energy a little bit. I'm going to call you
sick.
out. That was he's sickly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounded sickly the way you just said that question.
Donovan's battling.
Okay, you get a pass. I'm sorry. The Elks will sweep the Labor Day series. It's such a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
right? Even you can throw the records out, Calgary's always going to be competitive at home. In this game at
Mhm.
McMahon, it is challenging, but I will be in because Edmonton has shown. Take that one Montreal stomping away, and they only got beat by, I think it was 18 points. It wasn't that drastic.
Yeah.
But they've been in, take that game out, they've been in competitive in every single football game. They've shown that they can play different styles of football. Offensively, they can have a big outing. They can play a tight defensive battle. They can play games that go down to the last minute, last second field goal walk-offs. They have a couple of those under their bag.
Yep.
So I'm going to be in just because Edmonton has shown they can play in any type of football game with anybody.
I'm going to go against my instinct and say out because it's Labor Day and the rematch and crazy things do happen. And McMahon Stadium has been awful to Edmonton in the last couple decades. I think it's just a home win and a home win. But if Edmonton loses the Classic in Calgary, they shoot themselves in the foot somehow. That's how I could see them losing.
Yes, not Calgary, just outright taking it to them.
Right. Calgary seems to be in a bit of a predicament, right? Dietrich Mills has been banged up. VA a little bit nicked up. You know, he started out great. But the results haven't been there for the Stamps for whatever reason. I just think the craziness of the CFL and Labor Day, maybe we see a split.
One X factor, too, that just registered with me. I don't recall ever Edmonton going into this game coming off of a bye. That is big.
How big of a difference is that?
Well, you're going to be completely healthy. Like, you're going to be so fresh coming into McMahon.
And you're going to have to snap into like
Yeah.
110%.
You will have to snap right into game mode, but physically, man, you're going to be way fresher than Calgary.
Calgary gets the Ticats this week.
So that's an X factor that I've never actually experienced, the bye going into the Labor Day. Normally, you know, that's right in the heart of season. So Edmonton's going to be fresh. So they're going to come out fast.
I'm out only because I'm going against my better judgment.
Yep.
Okay. Dono.
That's fair. That is entirely fair. This is hey, it's Labor Day for a reason, baby.
Yep.
Number 2, I'm saying the Titans will not take the step that people expect them to this year.
I'm in. They seem to be in a world of hurt. I remember, was it a few years ago? They just kind of had some good seasons. I think 2021 was the last good year, or 2022, and there's lofty expectations. And was that when they let Vrabel walk? And who else? Who was a running back?
And they
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry,
and then they got Will Levis
Yeah.
at QB, and
and it just it fell apart so quickly, and a lot of it was their own doing. It felt like, not that I pay a ton of attention to the Tennessee Titans. So, I mean, they won 3 games last year. Not like the bar is set very high for them, but I'm in. They won't take the step. They'll have another floundering season. I
And what is the step? We, like Teresa said, 6 wins. Like, is that what we're looking at? Because they won 3 games last year.
You're in a pretty competitive division, right? I think we would all look at that division between the Texans, the Colts, and the Jags and go, there's probably 2 playoff teams in there again. And I can't tell you for sure any of the 3 are going to make it, but I think 2 of the 3 will. So, and you look at the rest of what they're going to have to play against, and could they get 5 wins? I think 5 is really realistic. Like, the step to me is probably 6. You're right. After that, I don't even expect them to get there. I know they draft Carnell Tate, and I know they signed Wandale Robinson to help out Cam Ward, but I don't know if you've seen Cam Ward's preseason stuff or even his camp tape. It does not look very good, and I am very concerned for we'll call it the evolution of this rebuild. Cam Ward's, everything can change with a flip of a switch, but it's not looking great.
I feel you.
They're like a football no man's land a little bit right now. They're kind of stuck in
At
that.
least they do have someone at the helm. I like Robert Saleh as a head coach. Terrible in New York, but look at what New York is and has been, the Jets.
Their owner's son was giving them advice, or they were taking advice from his owner's son because of what he did in Madden. The video
Madden
game.
rating. It was hilarious.
That's how stupid they can be with the Jets. Anyway.
Number 3, fellas. We're gonna be joined. We're gonna be joined in about 40 minutes time, 20 minutes time, 25 minutes time. We're going out to Boston, and so I'm saying this is finally the year that the Bruins fall off.
But it's funny how they just stick around. They had a 100-point season last year.
Yes.
And it was weird because you look at the lineup. Yes, they have Pasternak. They have McAvoy. They have some nice pieces, but it just felt like you looked at the Bruins and you're like, they don't have much depth. And then sure enough, they're feisty. They're aggressive. They lost to Buffalo in the first round. But they've managed to stick around. I don't know what Don Sweeney has up his sleeve to keep them competitive in the Atlantic, where there's clearly better teams than them. I think this might be a year that they take a step back, but they always bounce back after a tough year for some reason.
I don't get it.
They have something.
Voodoo magic.
Maybe voodoo magic, or maybe they do have good hockey people that can patch it together. But, they'll take a step back this year.
So, do you think that the Bruins will be better than Tampa?
No.
Me neither. Okay, Florida?
No.
Me neither. Montreal?
Nope.
Me neither. So, yeah.
Buffalo, maybe not even Buffalo. Man.
So there's Buffalo. So now we're talking bottom, half of the Atlantic. I'm going to be in as well. I think that they're going to take a step back solely because not so much what the Bruins are doing, but it's the other teams around them. Florida's going to be better. They're going to be healthier. Montreal, those are two staples for sure. I'm going to pencil in better than Boston. And then, of course,
be better?
Man.
Nobody really wants them to be,
and it's, I don't know, like, honestly, I don't think Toronto's going to be very solid this year. Do you, boys?
No.
It's a lot of turnover, a lot of change in Toronto right now.
Yeah, when you add in about 10 new bodies or 11, I forget if it's 10 or 11, but that's usually the sign that your team wasn't good enough to begin with. And then when you mess with chemistry that much with 10 or 11 new guys, you're probably going to see some growing pains. And I also look at this. You know which team spent the most money in free agency last year? The Vancouver Canucks.
How'd that go?
Usually when you spend that much money in free agency, it doesn't go very well.
No.
All of the Nashville Predators as well, right? So I think they're I'm not gonna say stink, but I don't think the Leafs will be very good either. So that's just my take on it. Some people are gonna agree, some are gonna disagree.
On the Bruins, real quick, Rockford texts in, JJ Paterko is a good ad for them. Yeah, they gave up 2 first-rounders for him, which was a lot.
Nuts.
But we'll see. That is a good pickup, and I agree with Rockford, but hefty price.
A lot for a player who really has no idea what he's doing in his own zone.
Wait a second.
Number 4 up here, fellas. I'm officially calling my shot. It's an Elks Al's Grey Cup this year.
Book it. I'm in on that for sure. Because when you look at the West, and you're right, TG, you said BC, and I poo-pooed it, but then I got to thinking throughout the program, and BC is going to be they are building, and their defense is coming along. Mike Benavides is starting to really get that grouping on that team in the right direction. But coming out of the West, nobody else scares me, right? Edmonton has shown that they can play or beat anybody in the West.
Yep.
And Montreal is Montreal, best team in the CFL currently. It's going to be Edmonton, Montreal, Grey Cup.
I'll go in because it seems like most times when the Alouettes are in the Grey Cup, so are the Elks or the Double E.
Well said.
It just happens.
Very well said.
Yeah.
To finish her off here, fellas, we're taking this in a fantasy football direction because I think it's near the top of everybody's minds here over the next couple of weeks. Making the loser of your fantasy league either A, if they have hair, shave their head, or B, grow it out if they're bald is a totally fair punishment.
Is this taking place in your league?
So that's what happened last year. This year, we're looking for new punishment ideas. I'll get to what my idea is in a second, but I'm curious on this one. Some people think this is way too far, and some think this is the funniest thing ever. I fit in the funniest thing ever category.
Oh, I'm in on this. It's hair. You can, it comes and goes, right?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I'd be like, I can't do this. Gregor made me get a perm.
I was going to bring up your perm.
We raised a lot of money for, I think it was MS Society, which was fantastic, but my hair smelled like nacho cheese for 6 months. That's what that chemical does.
How about Gregor a couple of years ago when
the Sharks
pretty
bet?
much, yeah,
Oh,
he
bet
pretty
yeah.
much
Self.
bet himself, sewered himself,
Yes.
and had to grow his hair out.
People at the rink didn't even recognize
That was
him. They're
so
like,
funny.
Is that Gregor?
And he did it to himself.
Yes.
I'd be in, man, because as a bald guy myself, hence why I'm wearing the hat today. Only going off a couple days no shave, man. That's tough. Like that's punishment.
It is a punishment.
And then vice versa for you, where
Yeah, I got-
your locks are your everything. Like
Thanks.
to come and see me at my level, taking it down to the wood. You don't want to do that.
And that's why I have reservation about being like, is this fair? Is it funny? Yes. Is it fair? Depends. Out. I have to, just in principle.
Yeah. So, full disclosure, I don't know if you know this one, Tommy, but so Zach, your old buddy at EST,
Yes,
is in my fantasy football league.
Coop.
I love Coob. He's one of my best buddies.
Yep.
And so he was our loser last year. So he had to take the razor to it and just get rid of that.
That's why he did
That's
it.
why he did it, because
Okay.
he lost our league. And so naturally, the punishment I thought fit the crime for him because he was terrible, just a terrible fantasy football player. I'm going to continue to sewer him because he had easily the second worst fantasy football draft of the night last night as we did it.
Oh boy.
The guy's just lost, but love the guy. My idea personally for this season coming up is I saw this one. I can't give credit to them on Twitter, but so the idea is you make your guy, whoever loses, they have to go trick or treating in the summer, and they have to go until they get 10 pieces of candy. Full
Oh,
costume,
I like
full
it.
makeup, the whole
I like
ordeal.
it. I like it.
I think that's a great one.
That
because
is good.
It's going to take so long to
Yeah,
get 10
yeah,
pieces
for
of
sure,
candy,
for
and you're
sure.
going to have to embarrass the hell out of yourself
that's
doing
good.
it.
That's good.
Can they have a sign that says I lost my fantasy?
Oh, I
This
would
is the
explain it
punishment?
to every
Yeah.
door for
You
sure.
would have to, but like I wouldn't let them get a sign. They would just have to go up dressed as Batman or whatever the hell they want to do.
Which is sick. That's a great costume.
I like that.
It's a good
That's
one.
pretty funny.
I like that one.
I do
I
a
think
lot of
that might
cold
be our-
calling for my work, so that's a no. That's easy for me.
It would be it'd be easy for me too because I don't know. I mean, doing this, I feel like it's not that far off. I mean, you'd feel shame.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's my
that
personality
shame,
to do that.
after a
but-
couple of doors, Donnie, that
Oh.
shame washes away.
You get in
Yeah.
the rhythm. I think that's a great one. But the shaving or growing out if you're bald, out on that one. Good job, Donovan.
Well done.
Nicely done indeed. That was in or out brought to you by the Oilers Nation Golf Tournament. Remember to sign if you want to sign up. They have 4 foursomes left. Sign up at nationexperiences.ca. All right. What's coming up for you for the rest of the
Going
week?
down to New My Nation. Got to go and shoot Elks Nation right now,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
meet Declan down there to get the pod in. And
Excellent.
yeah, we got like I said, those tourneys. So I'll be
you
seeing you.
tomorrow.
We'll swing the sticks and then be back on Friday.
Looking forward to it. Eddie, great stuff as always, my friend.
You too, TG. Have a great show.
All right. There's Eddie Steele, great co-host, and look forward to seeing him on the course tomorrow. Okay, we got to get to his sports update. Brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here's Donald.
The Sports 1440 update.
Damn, you keep coughing.
MLB action from last night. The Jays lost the series for the first time since July the 26th as they fell 8-3 to the New York Yankees. The Rays took down the Orioles 3-1. The Tigers collapsed, losing 11-7. Rangers beat the Angels 5-3. The Guards, they toppled the Rockies, going up 7-2. In that one, the Cubbies annihilated the Mariners 19-2. This being the second time in a week that the Mariners have given up 19 or more runs. And in the Little League Classic, the Braves doubled up on the Brewers. Ashton Genty, it's some good news as he didn't have his season end. It is instead a sprained ankle. The Browns, they have announced that Deshaun Watson is their week 1 starter. And some other baseball news that I forgot to get to. It's the Astros. They are parting ways with their general manager, Dana Brown. Coming up in about 15 minutes time, we will take our talents to Boston. I'm Donovan Paulson. That is your Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing. Tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen. I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. The ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt, so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Edmonton, if the Subaru Outback is on your wish list, now's the time to act. With only limited inventory available, these award-winning SUVs won't be here for long. The Outback has earned an IIHS top safety pick or higher for 17 consecutive years, combining legendary Subaru capability, confidence in every season, and the versatility to take you almost anywhere. Reserve yours today before they're gone. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 3 here on the Tom Gazzola Show. Shout out to Bet365, presenting sponsor of this fine program. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. Terms and conditions apply. You got Donovan Paulson, you have Josh Fenwick, and you have Cam Tate alongside me here in studio. We want to hear from you. 1-833-401-1440. You heard In and Out with Dono earlier, and he brought up the Boston Bruins. We're going to have Kevin Paul DuPont joining us from the Boston Globe in about 12 minutes' time to discuss those Bruins. They are plucky. They're pesky. They manage to stick around. Might have a down season, and then they find themselves up on the upswing. Are they a 100-point team again this year? I don't know. I don't think so. You look at the Atlantic Division like Eddie Steele was talking about, and there's some good teams in that division. Can the Bruins hang in there? We will ask that fine question to Kevin Paul DuPont shortly. We'll get to some of your texts. Husks texting in says, the Browns are just a dumpster fire, Tommy. I can't believe they chose to go with Watson. Yeah, I mean, did you guys catch how much of Browns training camp have you caught? Because Shador was looking decent.
I predicted that they would go the Deshaun Watson route. I just felt like, that this is a team that's perennially shown their incompetence.
Yes,
and
100%.
Why would you suddenly believe that they would make the competent decision? And hey, they need to get that return on investment somehow, right? So I don't know. We'll see how she goes for the Browns this year, but I'm not expecting good things, because they are a dumpster fire and will continue to be a dumpster fire. So, hey, the incompetent choice, as always, need to get that return on investment somehow. So yeah, let's start everybody's favorite QB1, Deshaun Watson. What a great call for comedy purposes.
Yes. Husks text got Cam Tate so fired up, he knocked his mic off his desk, and I had to run over there. Tate, are you okay? Yeah, he's fine. Anyway, he hates the Browns, apparently. You hate the Browns? Or you're laughing that much? Oh, boy. Here's one, because you also, in and out, had fantasy punishment.
Yes.
Fenny, I'm kind of curious to hear what you have to say about this. Mark says, fantasy punishment. Need to be a busker outside a sporting event until you earn X amount of money. Winner picks the instrument.
That's pretty good.
That is
pretty good. That is pretty good. I like that.
Our fantasy punishment, the first year I was in fantasy, I don't know if they continued it last year, was and it was my idea, was because we had one more guy that wanted to be in it, but we were at our max count.
Yeah.
So it was whoever wins gets to pick a person to kick out for a year so the other guy can come in. That was my idea, and I'm the one that got booted from the league.
No way.
So, but I think we lost a couple guys, so we're all back in. Might have to find a new punishment, or the $600 that's thrown in the pot is just going to somebody. But I like the busker idea.
That's a great one.
If you have any other good ideas, text them in, because my league is looking for our punishment this year. We like to change it up. So last year was my idea, because I thought it would be hilarious. And I feel like I always know that I'm not going to get last unless something catastrophically goes wrong. However, this year it might be Zach's again. It's looking that way.
Ice Cube, ice cold. Well,
is he the one who drafted Ashton Genty in the second round?
No, that was another idiot. However, he did draft Saquon Barkley in the first.
That's crazy.
And then went AJ Brown on the turn.
Oh God.
Oh no.
This is brutal.
It's almost over. This year for him, at least he didn't draft TJ Hawkinson in the 5th round.
Oh.
So it's looking better than it did last year. However, he's not winning. I can tell you that for free.
Probably not.
I think he's more concerned about not losing this year,
Oh,
you know?
yeah, but I mean, he quite possibly could with that team.
He's a very positive guy.
He is a positive guy.
Always in a good mood. So
love the guy, but he sucks at fantasy football.
Cat Dad chiming in says the loser, here's one. The loser gets dropped off 5 kilometers away from a bar. You get one of their credit cards and the tab stops when that person comes through the door of the establishment. That is
See, I've heard this one in the last couple of days, and I'm like, this is bold.
There's got to be rules to it, though.
That's dangerous.
Like, you can't just be ordering, 10 rounds of shots.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not buying a round for the entire bar or anything like that. But I like the idea is, hey, like they get to run up the bill
Yeah.
until you get there, right? Also, let's be honest, we're playing fantasy football. We're not playing real football.
Yeah.
I could not run a 5K as fast as I could when I was 16 or whatever, when we had to run it in school. It was like, okay, well, I finished that in 22 minutes. Like, oh boy, that would be real dicey for a couple of people.
Oh yeah, it would.
It's like that. All of a sudden, you get there, your bill's like 250 schmeckles. You're like, oh god, like how many Jaeger bombs did you guys drink?
But hey, at the end of the day, it's your fault. You lost.
Now,
sucks to suck.
There are guys out there that for them it would be no big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
For others, it'd be like, come on. But I like that one. It just depends where you're at and what the group is like. If people could withstand that type of punishment on their credit card. But
I feel
like
like
that one.
if you're in your 30s or 40s, I think that one's a great one.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody in that range should probably be able to.
Yeah.
I don't want to pigeonhole everybody in the same type of fiscal area. However, like in your early 20s, like us behind the board here, I feel like that might be a little too dangerous for some folks in my particular circles. However,
that would suck.
like I think for my league at least, a little less financial trouble and more, we'll call it physical appearance, whether that's making someone do the Halloween trick-or-treating in June or just something stupid like that.
Well, do you pay to be in the league? Like, do you guys have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so like on top of that, you shelled out, I don't know, whatever, $50, $100 to be in the league already, and then you got to sustain more punishment on top of that. Like financially wise, that's tough.
Salt in the wound, as they say.
Yeah.
Nail says, go to the casino, play blackjack in a Borat outfit, and I'm assuming he's talking about the swimsuit.
Oh, the pink mankini.
If they let you in.
So, whoa.
Great time.
My wife.
This is my wife.
Sean says, fantasy football last place punishment idea. Guy or gal must play a round of golf as a single with the wrong-handed clubs, record the whole thing, and not say a word about it to the group.
Have you seen the one where the guy plays golf without a ball?
Oh.
There's a video of it. Maybe I'll have to show it to you during the break here, but it is so funny. And he's out there as a solo, and he's with this group of very serious randoms, and he's pretending like he's hitting these great shots, and in reality, he's just basically making a total idiot of himself. And they're looking at him like, how drunk is this guy? Like, what is going on here?
Stone cold sober.
That's a good one too.
Oh, that's funny. Brock Texan says, our league is 12 teams, top 4 golf, bottom 4 caddy for the top 4, and then the middle 4 just play around. The top 4 and caddies play a competitive round. The winning group determines the draft order for the next year. I don't mind that.
I like that.
That's good. Keeps the
that's good.
competition going. Bud Baker says, hey, Tom, is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to do anything this season? I'm worried about him.
I'm very worried about him.
Yeah.
He was on my do not draft list.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Could he do something? Maybe.
Maybe.
But I think it'll be for a second team.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he's long for the Cardinals. So, but
I think there's 2 players in sports right now that I look at as need a change of scenery. And when I say need, this is capital NEED. It is Elias Pettersson and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yikes.
I still believe in both those players. I just think they need the change of scenery badly.
I had so much hope for him.
As you should have.
It's just like most things with
Everybody
the Cardinals,
did, Tommy.
Went
Everybody
sideways. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Fanny. We'll end this segment with something from Tater. We have Cam and Eggs coming up later on in the show. Cam's pumped about it, so am I. Tater says, in 1987, when Rick Hansen wheeled into a packed BC place, Brian Adams introduced Rick on the video screen. Adams ended it with welcome home, Rick. And as Rick wheeled in, the speakers blasted Adams' hit, I'm coming home. Spine tingling and tears. Tater was talking that up too. Hey, great moment at BC Place. He loves it. Absolutely. We got Cam and Eggs coming up. Next on the show, we're going to hear from Kevin Paul DuPont. We're going to talk about those Boston Bruins and see how they're stacking up going into the 26-27 NHL season. You're listening to or watching on YouTube, The Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Any project, big or small, when you need metal cut to your exact measurements fast, count on Metal Supermarkets, a warehouse bursting at the seams with inventory, plus metal bending, drilling, punching, notching, plasma cutting, welding, even delivery. Endless possibilities. Now imagine what they can do for you.
How about a garage shelf?
Think bigger, my friend.
2 garage shelves?
There you go.
I live on the edge.
The local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Missioner Island Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring articulated dump trucks, backhoes, dozer, excavators, forklifts, graders, loaders, man lifts, packers, skid steers, telehandlers, turf mowers, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
To you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It is the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Join the conversation. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Lots of great fantasy football loser punishment suggestions that we laughed at and chuckled and discussed, because some of those are pretty damn good. I like the trick-or-treating in the middle of the summer and trying to get 10 pieces of candy. That's pretty funny. pretty darn funny. If you have any more suggestions, keep sending those in. 1-833-401-1440. We're ready to rock and roll with Kevin Paul DuPont from the Boston Globe. He's the Bruins reporter. He is our Mr. Rooter Plumbing headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, of course, because your pipes take a beating on game day too, ready for overtime, even when your plumbing isn't. MrRooter.ca. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for hopping on the show, and we're getting ready for hockey season. The itch will need to be scratched soon. I know we want to enjoy the rest of our summers, but right around the corner, we're going to be talking about training camp. What has the offseason been like in Boston, in your opinion?
Well, first off, good to be with you, Tom. I would say rather moderate, I guess, in terms of interest. The big play was to go out and get J.J. Peterka. How exactly he fits in the top six, I don't exactly know that answer. Whether he's going to ride with Zaka or Lindstrom, that remains to be seen. So what they're hoping is his 28, 30 goals can replace Victor Arvidsson. I was surprised Arvidsson didn't stay. So that's the major change up front. In back, they brought back Connor Clifton. That gives them a little thump on the third pairing. But I would say those are the most significant moves. We'll see. A lot of it's going to depend on, as it does every year, how their goaltending holds up with Swayman.
Right. And, I mean, goaltending.
Is good.
Yeah, it's so crucial in the National Hockey League. We know that if a goalie has a down year, you could be screwed and it could pooch your season. Absolutely. The Peterka trade, did you think the price the Bruins paid was a little steep with the 2 first-rounders?
I did. That said, I don't know what the market was demanding, but I didn't like them giving up 2 first-round picks so much. But so much of the makeover, however many months earlier, 14, 16 months earlier, at the March deadline when they sent Marchand out of here and a whole bunch of other people, Carlo. That said, they've got to do something with those picks. They've got to turn those into real bodies. They've had a trouble here with the draft for the better part of 10, 12 years, if not more. So it's a live body. He's under control. The resume says he can score 28 to 30. So let's see. If he delivers on that, then I think the price is fine. If he's going to be an 18, 20 goal guy, then it becomes hard.
Yeah, no, that's very well said and totally understandable. Kevin, what about this Bruins team? This is a discussion we were having earlier in the show. When it comes to Boston, just when you think they're down and out, they seem to surprise you and have a strong season. They had 100 points last year. Like you said, there's been a reshuffling of the deck in Boston over the last couple of seasons. But what is it about the Bruins and like Don Sweeney and finding the guys to patch a good team together? Do you think they still have that gusto going into this season?
Well, I think a lot of it has been that the core here, if we roll back the calendar 5-8 years, because it's kind of the same discussion in there. And let's put it 19 after they made the final. A lot of it was, I think, the cognoscenti at large dismissed the great core that they still had. Chara was at the end, but they still had they still have Pasternak, still had Bergeron, still had Krejci. So I think there was an undervalue. And part of this is, Tom, I think just because guys were here so long, right? So there was, I think, dismissive of the core. There was a transition there between Rask and Swayman. So I think there's one side of the fence, which is you fall in love with your players, you think too much of them. I think part of it here was we thought too little of them, or many people thought too little of them.
I think that's a fair point.
If we go post 2019, when they got down to Game 7 with St. Louis and lost here at the Garden, it's been very much a mixed bag. I've said every year I think they'll be in contention for a 7th, 8th seed. Well, they blew that away in 23, as you know.
Yep.
Then they flamed out, of course, in the playoffs. Last year, I had them again at a 7-8 seed. I didn't have them at 100 points. I figured maybe 93, 91, and they'd squeeze in, but they got in with 100. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to say 7th or 8th seed. We'll see. I wouldn't expect them with 100 points. A lot of this is going to rest on what kind of firepower they have in the top six. Again, true of every team, but it's altered here. I was really impressed with Arvidsson at the end being the last 2 to 3 months of the season. I was surprised he left. The only rhyme or reason I can make out of that is he must love Todd McClellan.
Yeah.
He can't love Detroit. Can't love Detroit for the city or you tell me, it's 9 DNQs. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Good
So
point.
I said, well, what's the ultimate condition? It's the cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got 2 years at $5 million. He came here at $4 million. So I have a hard time, at this stage of my life in my mid-70s, I say I do what my wife tells me. Maybe his wife told him, right? We're going to Detroit. Shut up. Go.
Well, you're getting some laughs in studio, Kevin, for that one. But happy wife, happy life, they say. And I'll tell you what, he wasn't always the happiest guy in Edmonton. He signed that deal with the Oilers and then obviously the trade in the offseason. He did not even hide his discontent, whatever you want to call it around here, because he was just a feisty little guy that wasn't too happy with his situation. So maybe it is Todd McClellan that brought him to Detroit. And it can be a tough town for sure. It's definitely not Boston. It's definitely not LA. And it can't be the success that the Red Wings have had because there hasn't been any. So maybe the money talks and maybe the wife as well has a big part in that. Kevin Paul DuPont joining us, Boston Globe Bruins reporter. He's our Mr. Rooter Plumbing headliner of the day. This Atlantic Division it's a good one, Kevin. I mean, there's no denying it. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres, after they got rid of Kevin Adams, just absolutely go, lights out the rest of the way. Tampa's still a strong team. We expect the Florida Panthers to have a bounce-back season with health on their side finally. The Habs are on the up and up. I don't know where Ottawa falls in this. We don't think much of Detroit. Who knows with the Maple Leafs? Again, a lot of people across Canada don't really care about the Maple Leafs unless you're in the Greater Toronto area. How do you see this Atlantic Division stacking up? Or is it just, roll the dice and see where they land type of thing?
Well, I think Florida will have a great year. Was I surprised? Of course, I was surprised that they flamed out last year, but they did have serious injuries. They've changed their goaltending. We'll see what happens there. Bobrovsky gone to Toronto. So I would say from a Boston perspective, Boston's in that dance with those bottom three. You bring up Ottawa, Detroit. That's kind of where they're dancing. How the points, with the loser point up top, I imagine it's going to be cheek to jowl right to the end for the ones we've sized up. Toronto, always in danger of thinking Toronto's turned the corner and this is it, and they're going to get first time since '67, all of that. But I think they're better. We'll see what the Bobrovsky effect is there. Right. But I think from a Boston perspective, Boston's in that lower third, if not lower quarter.
What about the Sabres, Kevin? Because I know they knocked the Bruins out in the first round, and they had a nice little run. Obviously, we talked about the turnaround that they had, but could they be a team that takes a step back a la New Jersey a few years ago, or do you think Buffalo is legit?
I think Buffalo's legit. The loss of Tuck will hurt them. And that said, I thought at the very end he wasn't producing much, but I think the formula there is really good defense, really deep on talented defense, and to play that card one more time, unless the goaltending collapses. I don't see that happening. So I a step back probably if we're going to rate them based on how they played after December, whatever it was, December 10, 12, 13, when they went on that heater. But I think they'll be back in it. I think they're a solid team again. I'm happy for them. I'm especially happy for the fans because they saw it through for so long. But there'll be some question up front about consistency of scoring because Tuck is gone. But I think the weight and that robust defense. I think they'll play. I was mystified by the whole Kevin Adams, who's come here to Boston now. He's helping out in the front office. A lot of people felt that they went on that because Kevin Adams got dismissed as general manager. I've covered these things. He's covered this league for decades, I've never felt that the roster is all that tied to the machinations of the front office. You might not like them because they didn't give you enough dough. That wasn't the case. So to attribute it solely to the fact that they finally fired the general manager, it didn't make sense to me. But maybe, you never know.
Yeah. Well, the turnaround was incredible, and they'll look like a wagon, as the kids like to say these days. We'll see if that continues this season. Okay, Kevin, what about this announcement? I know Edmonton's involved in this too. The Bruins, both teams going to Germany. I think it's Munich for the Bruins, and then it's going to be Cologne for the Oilers. What do you make of taking the game overseas like this? And I know it's nothing new to the NHL, but I find it interesting, fascinating, kind of fun little sojourn. But Boston going to Germany in the 27-28 season, what'd you make of that announcement?
Well, from the macro picture, Tom, I think it's great. I think there's real potential for growth, and for the players, that means a lift, and it should mean a lift in hockey-related resources and income. They get a 50-50 of that. There's talk now. Well, not talk. It's basically a fait accompli that the league is going to expand here, either to Houston or to Austin.
Yeah.
So where can you wring more dollars? It's over there. I think, on a personal level, I've felt for a long time that they should try to exploit it, and this fits the pattern. The announcement itself, Tom, kind of threw me because these two teams are going. We don't know who unless they filled in the blank from last week here. They didn't give the dates, and they didn't give the opponents. So
no, they haven't updated anything yet.
Yeah, so that kind of threw me, and they'll have to fill in the blank there because they'll want part of that marketing scheme, of course, as you well know, is to get people to travel from North America. Traditionally, Boston is an excellent travel market. There's good income here. People will go. They love the team. All of that, so they'll get a lot of people, a lot of Bostonians, New Englanders, Bruins fans from across North America will go to it.
Yeah.
And when I say that, the caveat there being unless the airline thing is just cuckoo because of the Iran war. So I like it. I was listening to Pierre Maguire the other day, thinking that the day will come they'll have a 6-team division over there. I think we're a long way from that. Do I think that could happen? Yes. And I think it'd be great. It'd be great fun.
Do you, touching on the expansion thing, I know talking to David Pagnotta from the Fourth Period, he said that the league is looking at 36 teams. Do you think that's a bit too much? Like 34 seems like a lot. 32 seemed like a lot, to be honest with you. But if we get to 36, do you think that's watering things down too much?
Well, my feeling that for a long time. So I covered it when it was I watched it as a 6-team league. Did I cover it at 12? No, I covered it at 16. Once you've watered down the whiskey to that extent, if the crowd's going to get drunk on that, they'll get drunk on it. So if they're gonna get drunk on 32, the original 32, they'll get drunk on the original 36. So it's not so much. I think we're beyond quality of play.
Yeah.
And even then, that discussion was based on a 6-team. The root of that discussion is based on a 6-team league where everybody in the league grew up within 34 miles of each other in Southern Ontario, right? That's who was playing.
Yep.
Well, that's long gone. It's an international market. The game is not the game that it was in the 6-team league. All of that. So, yeah. Make it 36, make it 40. The issue is you put them in the right cities.
Right.
In terms of market, do you also, hand in hand, and boy, Vegas proved this, you've got to make it a rich crop of, you can't be throwing stiffs into it, right? You can't end up with the Washington Caps. You've got to make it a competitive team. And frankly, making Vegas a competitive team and bending the rules, and George McPhee did a terrific job there from the outset. You get the right management team, the right draft, it can grow right away. So, yeah, I'd say bring them in, bring them all in.
Why not? I remember the 21-team league. I remember when San Jose came in, Tampa, Ottawa, Florida, and Anaheim. That was when I was a kid, and here we are looking at maybe potentially 34 or even 36 teams. But one team that's always been a pillar in the National Hockey League for over 100 years is the Boston Bruins, and it should be an interesting year for them. Kevin, thanks for some insight into the Bruins. Appreciate this, and I think we'll probably be catching up during the season.
Okay, sounds great, Tom. Thanks for having me.
There you go, Kevin. Paul DuPont, he is our Mr. Rooter headliner of the day, the MVP you didn't know you needed. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca. Great stuff there. Boston, a tremendous hockey market. If you've never been there, just a great city overall. And they're in the midst of a strong season from the Red Sox. Obviously excited about the Patriots. And then the Bruins are always top of mind when they're very good. And last year, 100-point season. Celtics, don't forget them either. But, yeah, it should be interesting. And then if you didn't catch it, the Oilers and the Bruins are going to Germany in 2027, 2028 during that season. Cologne for the Oil, home of Leon Draisaitl, Munich for the Boston Bruins. And spread the game. Show it off. Take it to Europe. We saw the Oilers go to Sweden back in 2019 or 2018. I think they did a pit stop in Germany as well. So neat to see. And the Bruins a part of that. Great stuff there from Kevin Paul DuPont from the Boston Globe. Okay, we're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, it will be Cam and Eggs. Tater is very excited about this edition of Cam and Eggs. More on the way here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At GS Construction, we won't quit until we find a way to get the job done. And the right person makes all the difference. We're looking for our next superintendent, an experienced leader ready to take on the role. Because while GS Construction is building the water, sewage, and drainage systems Edmonton communities rely on, the superintendent is building up the team. If you know how to keep a job site safe, productive, and moving, we want to hear from you. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
This summer, cheer on your favorite teams at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. Plus, Sully's Big League menu has it all. Small bites and big bites, game day food and drink features, something for everyone. From the gridiron to the diamond, this is the place to catch all the action all summer long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. featuring triaxle, tandem, single-axle trucks including cab and chassis, decks, diggers, dumps, pickers, tractors, vacs, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
Yeah.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Rolling along on a Monday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. It's flying, and it's been fun. And a lot of great texts coming in. 1-833-401-1440. We do have Austin Mack from the Elks joining us in the final hour, as well as Adam Scully from Golf Talk Canada, and, of course, TSN. We'll get a recap of the LPGA event that came through town, Canadian Open. It was looked like really well attended. Outside of the mosquitoes, pretty darn good from everything I saw. Lots of people posting on social media, getting to see some of the biggest names in the world of golf, especially on the women's side. And Miyu Yamashita with a commanding victory. We'll discuss that with Adam Scully a little bit later on in the show. But first, we need to get to Cam and Eggs with Cam Tate. Cam yelled at me during the commercial break that this one is going to get me. I don't know what that means, Tater, but I'm ready to go. Dono, let's hit it.
Welcome back, Tommy. Can I please get that money you owe me back? We will get to the Elks and the golf and hockey later, but since it's Monday, here's a great piece of audio I found featuring the great sports writer Rick Riley. Please give it a listen. It might make your day. It did mine.
Sports teaches you about teamwork, you know, and I'll never forget, there was this cross-country runner named Ben Coleman, South Carolina, and his teammates would finish the 3 miles in 17 minutes, and he would finish in 53 minutes. And the problem was he had cerebral palsy, so his right side couldn't keep up with his left. And in cross-country, you got to run over hills and he would fall. And he'd cut up his face, and his whole right side was scarred. And his mom begged him to quit, and his coach begged him to quit. And Ben Coleman said, I can't quit. And they said, why? He says, I can't quit on my team. But he never figured in a match. So the teammates got tired of waiting for him. So they'd go out and run the last mile and a half back. They'd run a mile and a half out again and run it back with him. But you can't touch a guy in cross country. That's against the rules. So they would run at this incredibly slow pace. He'd fall. They'd wait. He'd get up, run again, fall. And they did. Then the girls' team started running with him. Then the cheerleaders started running with him. And his last meet of the year, with 6 teams in the meet, all 6 teams ran with Ben Coleman, while the parents waited in just tears as this group of 200 kids, it didn't matter who won. It was about just being there for each other, you know. And I mean, it chokes me up remembering this story. So I get this email from Kevin Costner, the actor. I want you to know I cried about that column, and Ben Coleman's my new hero. And I want you to know and tell him that I will pay for his education no matter how far he goes. He was in high school at the time.
Takeaways there. For me, it isn't about winning. It's about being part of a team and having your team members, your brothers, your sisters, your fellow soulmates who are with you no matter what. We have to share these victories, even when we don't end up with a medal. Riley. He wrote about Common. Costner read the piece and was moved to act. And perhaps here is the biggest piece for me. Common has cerebral palsy. For his younger life, people saw him as the one needing help. But he wanted to be a doctor to help people. We need to sincerely ask, would all of this have happened without sports? Cam and Eggs. As the Tom Gazzola Show continues on Sports 1440.
Nicely done, Cam. That's a good one. Like, really good one. Teamwork, man. Being a part of the team is the best. And I love that. And I love how you took that quote from Rick Riley, who's one of my favorite authors. Rick Riley. I don't know how many people are familiar with Rick Riley, but longtime Sports Illustrated back page writer, golf writer, uh, author, some great books out there. I just finished So Help Me Golf last year, which is a compilation of just tremendous golf stories from all over the world. Some funny, some heartwarming, some crazy. And then he also wrote Commander in Chief about Donald Trump and how the way somebody plays golf is indicative of how they are as people. And if you're a cheater, you're a cheater type of thing. Great stories in there as well. That was awesome, Tater. That was fantastic. One of your best since I took over this show. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. Rick Riley, that's a name I hadn't heard in a little while. I'm glad you incorporated that. And I'm not surprised that Rick Riley is someone who brought a story like that up because of just the type of guy he is, having read his stuff and kind of getting a sense of his personality. So, tip of the cap to Cam Tate on a great edition of Cam and Eggs. Boys, have you read any of Rick Riley's stuff or heard of him? Yeah.
I have not. This is the first I've heard of him. Maybe I live under a rock, but I'm not usually a massive I'm not usually a huge reader. I usually like there's some books I'll read, but I don't usually get caught up into them. So I usually like I'll read if there's a movie that I really really love. Like I still haven't read them, but I will probably read the Dune books at some point. That's about it. Like other than that, I'm not a huge reader.
His books, they might be 300 pages, whatever, but you fly through them because he brings you in, and he writes in a way that just flows so quickly that you're like, I can't believe I just burned through this book and it was 300 pages. So thank you, Tater. I love that. Jason and LeDuc texting and says, I'm not crying. You're crying. Okay. I'm crying too. Yeah. Beautiful. Fenny, do you know Rick Riley at all? No.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah. Well, if this edition of Cam and Eggs, opens some people up to Rick Riley, his storytelling ability, the stories that he highlights, like Tater also emphasized in Cam and Eggs, then fantastic. Just a good dude who likes to bring people up, not knock them down, and a great storyteller. So beautiful. Beautiful Cam and Eggs. Thank you for the welcome back too, Tater. Appreciate that very, very much. In Commander in Chief, I just want to tell one story that Rick Riley wrote about. It's with Mike Tirico. You guys know Tirico, obviously. Tirico was playing golf with Trump, and they were playing a par 5. And Trump has this like forward caddies that go and scout his ball and spot it whenever he takes it, he drives or takes his approach shot. And Tirico and Trump tee off. Tirico gets up to his second shot. I think he hits like a fairway wood. Absolutely pumps this thing to, it looked like 10 feet of the pin. Absolutely great shot. Eagle opportunity. Trump puts his shot off into the bunker or somewhere off to the side. It is well away from the green. Tirico gets up to the green looking for his ball. Doesn't see it on the dance floor. Trump's caddies spot Trump's ball just off the green, surprisingly. And Tirico's like, well, where's my ball? Like, I pumped that thing and looked like it was in tight. Like, I'm putting for eagle here. And the caddies are like, no, man, yours is in the sand. So what had happened was either Trump told his caddies to do it or they just knew. But because they always are ahead of the group that's playing, scouting and spotting the ball for Trump, they went and punted Tirico's ball into the sand. And they dropped a ball for Trump just off the green, even though he was well behind it somewhere in the bush or in the thick stuff. And Tirico I think he got up and down for a par, but he should have been putting for an eagle, walking out of there with at least a birdie.
You know, I always wondered how Donald Trump was such a good golfer.
He isn't. Like he's not. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but not that good. Golf's an easy game when you have somebody putting your ball in a fortuitous spot, even though you didn't really shoot it there.
That is a crazy story, though.
Yeah, and that's just one of many. But that one sticks out to me, and it kind of ties in. So, anyway, to make a long story long. And then So Help Me Golf is a different book, and it highlights a lot of things. Like Rick Riley did this Dream 18, where he got Sports Illustrated to pay for him to play one hole from some of the most exotic, wildest, best golf courses in the world and make it into a Dream 18. And I think he got to like the 12th or 13th hole, and then they cut the budget. They got a new editor that wasn't on board with it. And he still went and finished it, I think, on his own dime or with less travel money from Sports Illustrated. But some of the courses he went to and places in the world he went to was amazing. Like, this is the type of golfer and writer he is. Like, he's very creative, very thoughtful. Just highly recommend. If you're looking for a new book, So Help Me Golf would be my number one recommendation. And then the other one, Commander in Cheat. Very fascinating. So there you go. I tied it all together, Tater. Was that okay? To your liking? Yeah, he says. Excellent. Excellent. The Rig texting in says, Tater got me with the ending, Tommy. I thought with all the teamwork talk, he was going to finish with your teammates picking you up, covering all your holidays. Hey, the Rig, you're right. The teammates do pick each other up around here. They pick each other up.
They do. They do.
Sean says, how do you know that story about Trump is true? Sean, it was Mike Tirico who told Rick Riley. So it's from Mike Tirico's perspective. And I don't know if you've come across any of the clips online of Trump golfing, but sometimes you'll see them drop the caddies, the guys that play and spot the ball for him. They'll drop one for him in a good spot. And you're like, that's not where his shot went.
There's a reason that Mike Tirico's had the career he's had, and there's a reason he is where he is. It's not because Mike Tirico is just a filthy, lie about everything he does type of guy. Mike Tirico is like that's a pretty upstanding dude.
Legend.
Like that's when Mike Tirico says that, I would probably be inclined to believe that.
Same. I mean, if you read the book too, Sean, you get an even better idea of Tirico's probably not lying about that. Huss says Trump has also been known to pull out his foot wedge. Yes. He's also won club championships. This is in the book at courses he hadn't played in months and didn't actually show up for the club championship. So there's that. So there's that whole thing. Anyway, just highly not getting into anything political or anything like that. I hate that stuff. But I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a book. Highly recommend it if you're looking for one. Commander in Cheat is the second option of the two. I would go with So Help Me Golf, which is a compilation of different stories, golf related. Like one, a Vietnam War veteran. He was a POW, I believe it was, in Vietnam. And he was in a cell that was like a 6x8 for a couple of years. And to stay sane, he would get a little bit of time outdoors every day. He picked up a stick that was the length of a golf club, and he would, in his mind, play his home course every single day. He'd play at least 18 in his mind just to keep his sanity. Fascinating. Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Great book.
I think I might have to read this now.
So Help Me
you've
Golf.
convinced me.
Yeah. Highly, highly recommend. Thank you. If I get Dono to read, the power of reading, as Ed says, It's a wonderful thing. All right, we got to step out for a quick breather. We have a Sports 1440 sports update coming to you, brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies and Nisku Product Sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
MLB action today. No Jays as they have an off day, but the Rays are in Detroit. The Marlins hosting the Bo Sox. The Rangers clash with the Chi Sox. The Guards, they battle the Angels. The Mariners look to bounce back against the Phils after giving up 19 runs yesterday. That was the second time they've done that in the last week. The Cubbies are in Arizona, and the Padres hosting the Pirates. Some news from around the world of baseball. The Astros, Dana Brown, he is out as general manager. In case you missed it yesterday, Ashton Genty's season is not over. It is just a sprained ankle, and Deshaun Watson will be the week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns. Coming up next on Sports 1440, we've got Elks wide receiver Austin Mack. I'm Donovan Paulson. That is your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's blowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Sportsbook. Sign up to unlock access to hundreds of pre-match and live betting options for all your favorite sports. Download the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Final hour of the Tom Gazzola Show on a Monday. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you had a great weekend and lots to be happy about if you're a sports fan in and around the city. A great LPGA event. The Canadian Women's Open was fantastic. And then the Elks actually set the tone with a big win on Friday over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Great second half for the Double E. And to discuss, we welcome in Austin Mack, wide receiver for the Edmonton Elks, who had a big night as well. Very solid performance, picked up a TD and helping the Elks secure an 8-3 record heading into the bye week. Austin, thank you for the time as always, man. I know it's your bye week, so you should be probably taking care of business, making sure your body's healed up, watching the kids, hanging out with the wife, all that good stuff, which I'm sure you're going to be doing this week. But man, oh man, Friday was crazy. Like, how did you see that game? It was two completely different halves.
Absolutely, Tom. Well, first, thanks for having me on. Definitely am enjoying the bye week. It's finally starting to settle in that it's actually a bye week. I don't have to go in. Man, you know, it's crazy because I told you, you know, before the game, if we play together as a team, we have a good shot of winning that game. And the first half was a look at us not playing together, especially in one phase, and then the second half was a complete flip of us being able to play together. And so, man, it's a good team. Regardless of what happens, we get hit in the face, adversity strikes, man. We still find a way to come out on top, and that's just a good blueprint of a great football team.
And listen, like, I think everybody in the building, everybody watching on TV, myself included, I'm sitting there going, like, what just happened? And then all due respect and credit to the Bombers and Zach Collaros and what he was able to do. I think that first possession was like 7 minutes to really take the energy out of the building. And the defense was able to bend but not break. But did there have to be some words exchanged in the locker room at half? Or did you guys, I mean, there's a lot of good veterans on this team that you guys have. Did everybody just kind of know, like, take us into the mindset of the group between the first and second half of the game?
Yeah, we didn't flinch. You know, like I think more than anything, we knew exactly who they were. We knew that we could move the ball, especially offensively. Speaking from an offensively standpoint, and a lot of the situations just happened to us. You know, was us putting ourselves in a worse position. So we knew kind of in the second half we weren't gonna, like, this is the thing. Great thing about our team is that we don't blame anybody, and we find a way to just, okay, let's get some momentum. Let's get back to what we do. And we didn't flinch. Like, it is what it is. It's football, right? The worst football we could ever play happened. We can't get any worse than this, right? So let's just be able to, you know, put a drive together. And the biggest thing was getting points going into half. We wanted to be able to try and, you know, get some more points. We should have, but at least we were able to get a score before half and then get the ball back and kind of really build that momentum. And our defense played lights out all night, so that's what really kept us in the game.
Yeah, you guys built it back together in that second half in a major way, and there's no denying that. And listen, Austin, you've played on like some great CFL teams in your career. What can you say now that we're 11 games into this season for you guys? What can you say about this Elks team? I know you talked about playing together. I think we saw that it was in fine form the other night, but what are you noticing about this group? Because I don't think 8-3 is a fluke. I don't think it's just a hot start in the CFL. I think there's something to be said about the way you guys have won these games this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, good. We're a really good football team. Reason being is this: we're in the top when it comes to from offensive efficiency on. All right, we make big plays. All right, and we have a lot of really good players that are making a lot of plays. So explosive plays, not turning over the ball, and having not as many penalties is big on offense. On defense, you see our defense taking over the ball tremendously. We're like number one in the turnover differential.
Yeah.
So starting there, it's huge. To the side of that, we're like number one in YAC. I think number two is Montreal, and that's a big thing for us as well. Being able to catch the ball and be able to get upfield. And so this team is good. I mean, we're a really good team all across the board. And we've been able to stay healthy. And when people have gone down, there's been people that stepped up to be able to fill in those gaps. And we've been able to play through that. We played through the top teams in this league, and we split both of those games. And so excited to see what these back half of the season, you know, really looks like. And more about us continuing to get sharper, continuing us to fill in those details, right? Like a course of a season is about the little things, the little details that's going to separate us for when those big moments come or those opportunities come here in the back half of the season. And that's the only thing you can wish for is when it starts getting cold out, keep playing for something. So really excited for where we're at and just about continuing to keep building.
Elks wide receiver Austin Mack joining us now. The team's 8-3 on a bye week, and then getting set for the Labor Day Classic down at McMahon, and then the rematch at Commonwealth, which is going to be awesome. But okay, you know Cody Fajardo well. He speaks so highly of you. I think it's a big part of what made you come to Edmonton, and it's been a very, very good fit, obviously. But talking to Cody last week, he says he hates the saying that the CFL season doesn't really start until Labor Day. Are you on the same page with him when it comes to that, Austin?
Man, yeah, I don't agree, man. This thing's been going since June. We've been going strong. I know for a lot of people, you know, especially in the West, right? You look at the West, I think, fourth place is 2 games behind us. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, like the race is really on now, right, where things start picking up. But more than anything, it was all about being able to put yourself in a position to own your race for when that true race begins for, you know, the finish. And the biggest thing is that we wanted to own our race, and that's what we've done. We've been able to put ourselves in a position where we can control our destiny, and that's where we ultimately want to be at, and that's a good position to be in.
It definitely is because it's been a long time since the Elks have been in a situation like this. Okay, the Labor Day Classic when it comes to Edmonton and Calgary, I'm sure you know a bit about it, but what is your knowledge of it? And do you know how much the juices get flowing in Alberta and how tough it is for the Double E in Calgary? And then obviously it's the same when the Stamps have to come up here. Like, what's your anticipation level like for this back-to-back?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it. First time getting to experience it and obviously get to play in it. So I'm excited. You know, I've played in the game, right? The greatest rivalry in all of sports for 4 years. I'm expecting it to be somewhere just like that, right? We don't like those guys. That red team, we don't like them at all. So I'm excited to, you know, go down there and hopefully whoop their ass. And they come back here 4 days later, we whoop them again. Obviously, that's what we want. But more than anything, we know it's going to be a challenge. They're a great team. They got some really good pieces. And, man, I'm excited. I know typically that's the biggest crowd or biggest showing that we usually get. And so I can't wait to see everybody come out. Can't wait to put on a show, honestly.
Hey, and speaking of the crowds, I know, listen, it's been rough around here. It hasn't been Double E football until this season. Really, it's starting to feel that way. At times last year it did, but you're starting to see people come back. And no, it's not the 35,000 that maybe we saw 20 years ago, but who's to say it can't get back to that? Are you noticing things in and around the city and on game day in the stadium where people are starting to buy in, even though it's your first year with the team?
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy is I got the experience to go to a golf tournament this weekend. It was the women's tour.
Yep.
And we're you know, the guy, it was me, Rankin, Jake Julian, and Jordan Murray. We're out here walking around, and we got people screaming, "Go Eskimos! Way to go, boys!" You know, and I know the name change and all, and it was funny because I was like, "No, it's Elks," and they started laughing with me. But you know, the city knows. Yeah. The city sees us winning. The city is alive and well, and the people that were here, the season ticket holders that left because of the name change and all that, and all the losing, right? They still know what Eskimo football is and Elks football is, Double E standard, and they're seeing it, and I'm feeling it. Not just in the stadium, but just when I'm outside, walking around. Like, I'm getting recognized all the time now, and I'm like, this is crazy. It's something I've never, you know, experienced before, right? Playing in Montreal, you're like a one person in 1 million, so it's a little different experience. But here, man, it's just great to see the feel of the support from the community. Now we got to continue to keep going, right? Front half of the season was great. Keep going. So.
I love that you brought that up, Austin, because and the video of you guys together rolling around the golf course at the Mayfair was fantastic, and I know people were excited to see you guys. But that's how it should be. The team matters in this city. This team has mattered for 75+ years, and to get that recognition, and you hear Ed Hervey and Chris Morris talk about, we want guys to come here and be a part of the community and stay here. So they do feel the love from the community. And the fact that you've only been here for half a season or just over half a season, and you're starting to see that, I think is a great sign. I point to the crowd at the end of the game the other night, how pumped up everybody was. The vibe was real, even though maybe it was only 22,000, but it's slowly coming back. So
It's real.
yeah, the fact that you're seeing it and getting that love is the way it should be and the way it used to be, and shows that it could be that way again. So that to me is a great sign. Now, you were at the CPKC Women's Open. How was that experience?
Oh, absolutely electric. I mean, I'm fairly new. I probably played the most golf in my life I've had this year in Edmonton with the boys. There's a lot of golfers on the team. I'm the guy that's typically trying to go out with 10 balls and not losing them all. And if I lose them all, I'm just the guy driving the cart around, So I've gotten significantly better. And, it was just tremendous to be able to go out and watch these women go out here and play their sport. And, when you get to watch other professionals do their thing, it's just admirable. And I mean, it's just, they hit it straight every single time. I just envy that, So more than anything, it was just a great experience. And, man, it's just some cool things around here in Edmonton. Glad to be able to go out there and support that.
Hey, the champion of the tournament is 4'11", Miyu Yamashita from Japan. So it is incredible to see, and she put on a dominant performance. Yeah, you had a chance to see it firsthand. Okay, what is Austin Mack doing during the bye week? What's planned for you? I know you want rest and recovery, probably want some downtime with the fam. What's the plan for you this week?
We've been looking around. A lot of people are saying Banff, a few other spots, some getaways. I definitely want to get away. We're expecting, my wife are expecting this in, late September. So we're also trying to get, things prepared and for wifey the best possible. More than anything, just stay ready, man. It's a long bye. You could easily lose a lot of momentum that you built 11 weeks into. So for me, still going to take the right approach and, just keep the body ready, get healthy, feel even better than I do now, and, get ready to kick ass on Labor Day weekend.
Hey, it's going to be an awesome Labor Day game, and I expect the rematch to be even better because it's always a great time when the game comes back to Edmonton. Austin Mack, enjoy the bye week. Well-deserved. You guys are 8-3. Everybody's contributing. Like you said, got to play as a team, and that's been happening throughout this season, full stop. Thanks for the time today, pal, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir. Talk soon, Tom. Thank you. God bless.
There you go. Austin Mack, Elks wide receiver. Cody Fajardo told Ed Hervey, go get that guy if he's available. And it's worked out quite well. And he says he's playing they got him in the right spot here in Edmonton. And the results speak for themselves. Austin Mack picking up a TD the other day. And so far through 11 games, 7 touchdowns, averaging 15.6 yards per catch. His longest was a bomb, the 81-yarder a few weeks ago. And I think it's just been a really nice fit. And if you ever come across Austin Mack in the city, say hi to him. Really nice guy.
He's been everything they could have hoped for and more.
Well said.
Everything they could have hoped for. He has been exactly as advertised. I don't think it's crazy to say that I don't think his signing got enough publicity. I just don't think it got enough. But he has been so good. A lot of players have been really good for this team, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. But man, Austin Mack is everything that they needed.
He's as a wide receiver one.
Yeah. I mean, like the Elks have brought in a lot of wide receivers over the last number of years. Like, I mean, hey, remember Geno Lewis?
Yes.
As here, it was odd is how I would describe his fit here. They chose not to throw him the ball at times. Odd usage. I don't know how you would describe the team fit in terms of him fitting into that locker room, but I don't know. So just stuff seemed off there. There's been a rotating cast of characters, and now I view Austin Mack as the guy who you can consistently count on, and you can see how he interacts with his teammates. That's a really good guy.
Good point too. And then they had Kenny Lawler as well in that time frame.
Yeah. Basically everybody and their mom played wide receiver for this team.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years. Like if you were to ask me, Donovan, name about 15 of these guys, there's probably it feels like there's about 40 wide receivers that played for this team over the last 4 years.
Well, there was a season in which the Elks had over 100 guys signed to the roster. It was incredible. I remember talking to some of the staff. They'd be like, yeah, we signed a guy, had a jersey made up. he came here for like 2 days, cut. Or some guys didn't even make it here. Those days are over. Those days are
Absolutely.
over. That's pretty clear with Chris Morris and Ed Hervey and Mark Killam. And then you heard Austin talk about it, play for each other, play as a team. Didn't happen in the first half. They came together in the second half. Not much needed to be said in the locker room. And they clawed their way back and won it on a walk-off TD. I thought that last drive that the Elks had, put together a few good plays to get downfield quickly and put Vincent Blanchard into a comfortable spot to make that field goal was excellent. You could see the CFL put the video up of the coaching booth and Max Simic and the crew, how pumped up they were.
Yeah.
Because it came together, which was excellent.
I can't believe how my biggest takeaway so far this season, it's not even their record. It's just how much the culture has changed.
Yeah.
With even just the insertion of some new voices and some, listen, from the outside, I don't know these guys personally, but I think you can see and read the positivity and this change in attitude. A lot of that starts from the top down, but I think you also have to give a lot of credit to the players in how they approach the game. And I can't speak glowingly enough about where this team's at right now.
The buy-in is legit, and the record at 8-3 tells you that is very, very true. Big thank you to Mike Arcuri and the Elks and Austin Mack for hopping on because it is his bye week. He's got a kid on the way. I did not know that. Congratulations to him and his wife, and hopefully he sends hopefully the kid comes into this world with daddy and his team being on a high note and winning and in a good spot, which is always great. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Adam Scully from Golf Talk Canada and TSN will stop by. We will talk about the CPKC Canadian Women's Open in Edmonton. Well done, Edmonton. You look fantastic on the broadcast, and people showed up for the event. Sounds like it was fantastic as well. Adam Scully next here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
It's time to hit the green. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Love Pro Wrestling. It's the only place you'll find lumberjacks, short kings, mad lads, and a high-flying goose. LPW 51 hits the Rec Room South Edmonton Common Friday, August 28th. After a shocking betrayal at LPW 50, Marsh the Specialist challenges Ty Jackson for the LPW Grand Championship. Plus, Rich King and lumberjack Larry Woods settled their rivalry with a last man standing match. Whether it's a family outing, date night, or drinks with friends, check out Edmonton's wildest party at Love Pro Wrestling. TixR.com/Love Wrestling.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Along Monday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440, of course, presented by Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365, available in Alberta, and it's here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Shout out to Greg Pilling, the legendary Oil King, in studio. Dropped off a book for me. I just have to learn how to read. That's a joke. That's a joke. Looking forward to reading that. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Thank you, Pill. And we're going to talk a little bit of golf next on the show. We're going to be joined by Adam Scully, Golf Talk Canada, of course, TSN as well. You can see him on there, crushing it as always. Adam, thanks for hopping on the show. Let's talk a little golf. Why don't we? And we just had the CPKC Canadian Women's Open in Edmonton. It was all Miyu Yamashita with a dominant victory, finishing 23 under. I don't know how much of the tournament you got to see. I don't know how much you followed the LPGA, but did you catch any of it? What'd you think if you did?
Oh, my goodness. First of all, thanks for having me. Successive victories that we've seen not only in LPGA history, but this season. I mean, a 9-shot victory. The winner there, Miyu Yamashita, she's that's pretty amazing. A number of things. Obviously, the putting performance was great, but she's also 4'11".
Yeah.
She's not very tall, and she absolutely pounds it off the tee. I love the golf swing. I mean, rounds of 62, 64, 65, 66. She made the golf course look easy, and I know the summer in the Edmonton area hasn't been amazing with a lot of rainfall, and I know they're playing ball in hand throughout the tournament, but still, to shoot those scores, to win by a 9 spot, it was unbelievable to watch.
You know what's funny is on the broadcast, they were like, this is a difficult golf course. It is, having played it firsthand, especially I think I played the last time I rolled through town a dozen years ago. I played the week after the LPGA event was here, and it was tough. I mean, the rough was thick. It was unforgiving. The greens were tough. And she just made it look so easy. Like, did it surprise you she was able to crush everyone in the field that way, or is it just indicative of how good she is?
No, that's fair. I would say I was surprised it was 9 shots. I mean, generally when ball is in hand and the conditions are a little softer, you see more of a congested leaderboard, which you did see from second place through to the top 10, basically, where 8 players there within a 3-shot span. But because she is so talented, I mean, 4 wins in 42 career LPGA starts, all in different parts of the world, by the way, too.
Yeah.
So truly a global player, and yet another great global player playing very well on the LPGA tour, and to cap that off with an incredibly impressive performance over the weekend at the CBKC Women's Open. It was fun to watch.
Adam, I know a lot of people went to the event going to see Brooke Henderson, and that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
She is a superstar on the tour. She is a Canadian darling. There's no denying that. And to see her in our own backyard is great. And not just, women and lady golfers and young girls who golf going to see her, but a lot of guys too. Guys, 40-year-old buddies of mine that are like, Brooke Henderson, absolute legend, crushing it. And I was impressed with that. But then we had 2 other Canadians crack the top 10, which is excellent. Anna Huang tied for 4th, Aphrodite Dang tied for 7th. What can you say about the way Canadians showed up in this tournament?
It is unbelievable. On our show the past couple of weeks, we had a lot of conversation about the Brooke Henderson effect, where these young girls growing up saw Brooke Henderson do what she did when she was very early on in her career and saying, hey, I want to do that too. And look what they're doing. The same thing can be said about Mike Weir when he won the 2003 Masters. He inspired this next generation of Canadians that we're now seeing on the PGA Tour have success. And I actually interviewed Anna Huang leading into the tournament last week after she won for the 4th time on the Ladies European Tour. She's just 17 years old, by the way, just outside the top 40 in the world rankings. And instead of us saying on our show or any show that the future is bright for Canada in golf, like, the future is now. it's 2 Canadians inside the top 10 at the CPKC Women's Open, not named Brooke Henderson, who did come T13, by the way.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. And what's great, too, is Golf Canada's put so much time and money and effort into the development of these young stars. And look what's happening here. Also, 7 Canadians making the cut at the CPKC Women's Open, which is incredible. Aphrodite Dang, she's 16. Anna Wang, 17. For them to have the success that they had last week is amazing. And they both get a spot into this week's LPGA event in Boston as a result of finishing in the top 10, where you got an automatic berth into the next week. Same things said on the PGA Tour as well for most events anyway. So this, a couple of really great performances, and I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't too far away where we see another Canadian winner on the LPGA Tour, someone not named Brooke Anderson.
Hey, that would be great. And you know what else it says? We're not just good at hockey, and we're spreading it out to other sports. And I think we've seen that over the last decade and a half, that it isn't just a hockey nation. We have great athletes, and this is just another example of that. We've got Adam Scully with us from Golf Talk Canada, of course, TSN as well. Let's flip over to the PGA side of things. Listen, Wyndham Clark wins the BMW Championship, but the story that got me was Scotty Scheffler had like mouth, hand, and foot disease that was causing blisters, and he still had a pretty decent showing. Crazy, in my opinion.
Very, very crazy. And we actually just had a similar discussion on our show. We just got off the air an hour ago about Scotty Scheffler, how he said that, maybe should have withdrew, hindsight 2020, but he wanted to gut it out and keep playing. So, I mean, definitely a pretty firing performance, you could say, to finish T12 with all of that going on. But then it also leads into a different conversation about injury transparency in regards to sports betting. You could make that argument. Like Scotty Scheffler's odds were 3-1 going into last week. 3-1. There are 50 players in the field. Second shortest odds were 15-1. Now, if people had known that this hand, foot, mouth disease was going on, I think those odds would have lengthened tremendously, right?
Yeah.
But he continues to do amazing things, and obviously didn't finish in the top 10 this past week, but 2 wins, 5 runner-ups, first in scoring average, birdie average, stroke total. The guy's definitely had the most consistent season on the PGA Tour. Is he the player of the year? That's a discussion for perhaps next Monday at this time. We'll see what happens at the Tour Championship. But Wyndham Clark, to squander a 5-shot lead and to birdie the last 3 to still win by 3, it was a pretty impressive performance. And what was kind of a hostile environment for him as well.
What do you think of Wyndham Clark? Because he's an interesting character.
He is. He is an interesting character. He is a streaky player. We've seen in the past, like when he won the 2023 U.S. Open, he won the Wells Fargo Championship, a signature event at the time, a month before, and not many people had heard of Wyndham Clark. And he goes on and wins the U.S. Open. The next winter, he won at Pebble Beach, and then shortly after, he shoe lipped out a putt on the 72nd hole at the Players Championship. And then obviously there's this year, the 3 wins, where he just wins in streaks. And does he rub some people the wrong way? I think he does, given what happened at Oakmont a couple of years ago in the locker room when he kicked in one of the lockers and damaged it, and not good. And he runs a little hot under the collar. He threw a driver once and nearly hit a volunteer. He's done a lot of things that clearly a lot of people don't like. And clearly people, you think back to the U.S. Open earlier this year, even yesterday, there were fans yelling at him for his balls to get in a bunker, openly rooting against him, which I still don't really understand to a full extent. The guy's American. And when here at the RBC Canadian Open, he wore a Team USA jersey on the rink hole where, okay, no kidding. Yeah, I think he'd get booed for that, right? Given using Canada. But I like him for golf because he does have some flair. He does have some personality. He hits it a long way off the tee. He can roll the rock, and you marry those together, and we could really be talking about the player of the year on the PGA Tour to win a major like he did the U.S. Open, to win the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson shooting 30 under by the week, including a final round 60, and then to win the way he did yesterday. Rory McIlroy calling it a class performance, and even afterwards, Wyndham Clark was saying he wasn't very sharp mentally. The swing felt good, but mentally he wasn't there. I love that honesty, saying, that's just what happened, and he flipped the switch and he won by 3. I think he's great for golf because he is a little different.
Hey, I'll take him over Bryson any day of the week. That's just my opinion, though. Okay, what do you expect at the Tour Championship next week, Adam?
Yeah, I am fascinated now at what's going to happen this week. Rory McIlroy, who after won the Masters, didn't play a lot of golf in between, T40 at the Open Championship, and then the only video we saw of Rory between the Open and at the FedEx St. Championship in Memphis was at a nightclub in Ibiza, having the time of his life, enjoying some time off. But now he's playing his 3rd straight week. He was near the bottom of the leaderboard in Memphis. Yesterday, some weird course management down the stretch, missed a couple of putts, still comes in 3rd. Could Rory be peaking at the right time? He's won the FedEx Cup 3 times before. Maybe we see number 4 this week. Looking at the odds, still 2nd shortest odds to win this week behind Scotty Scheffler. Let's see how the blisters are going here for Scheffler. Hopefully he's feeling a little better. Guys trending in the right way. Patrick Cantlay trying to make the U.S. President's Cup team, jump from 17th to 13th in their standings. The top 6 automatic qualifiers named yesterday for Team USA. Where does that go going forward here? Cantlay playing well. Colin Morikawa also a really good week. And then there's the story of the year, you could really say in almost all sports, in Gary Woodland, who qualified for the Tour Championship, moving from 31st, 18th in the FedEx Cup standings. He also hole-topped a tee shot yesterday with a 3-wood. Hit it into a creek some 100 yards in front of him. He probably didn't know the creek was there. He still grinded through, persevered, 69 in his final round to qualify for the Tour Championship. He's obviously been through brain surgery and openly admitting and talking about PTSD. Won a couple weeks later in Houston, which was just a remarkable performance. There's so many great things to look forward to. It's hard to believe the PGA Tour season's coming to a close.
I don't want this summer to end, and that's a sign that it is coming to a close. So we'll take it when it comes, but no rush to get to hockey season at all. Okay, what do you, Mark Zucchino, and Bob Weeks have cooking over at Golf Talk Canada coming up?
Oh, man. First of all, thanks for the plug. Secondly, we got lots going on for us on our show, which we were just on the air. We'll be on the air again many times Tuesday and Wednesday here. Full recap of the CPKC Women's Open, preview of the Tour Championship, discussing Wyndham Clark's win, of course, at the BMW. I'm also interviewing later this afternoon. I'm interviewing Garrett Rank, who just won the Canadian Mid-Am for the 4th time, and he's an NHL referee.
Yeah.
So quite the tie in there with Garrett Rank, who is a really good guy and one hell of a referee too, I may add. And obviously he's a really good golfer. So lots going on for us. And then we're going on a bit of a GTC road trip to Myrtle Beach and PEI.
Nice.
Starting next Sunday. So you'll see a lot of GTC on the road here in the next little bit.
Hey, I'm seeing you on there traveling across the country and checking out cool courses. And I'm sitting there going, that's a sweet gig. So keep crushing it, Adam. Thanks for hopping on today. We're going to do this again. You know that, right?
Absolutely. And hey, you keep crushing it on the Edmonton beat out there with the CFL. And we can talk some hockey next time if you want to. A compelling season for the Oilers coming up.
Hey, I look forward to that. We will.
Love it.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, man.
There you go. Adam Scully from TSN and Golf Talk Canada. Great stuff from him. You see him all the time on SportsCenter. And then you can watch Golf Talk Canada with Bob Weeks and Mark Zucchino as well on TSN, among the other wonderful programming on the station, like the CFL on TSN.
Yeah, where you can see this one guy named Tom Gazzola.
Hate that. I'm just kidding. This is me.
Yeah, who is that guy?
Hey, it was, yes. Thanks, Fenny. He hates me too. Shout out to everybody. It's nice to see at football games when people come say hi and stuff. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Even the chirps I get, I appreciate. Some of those are pretty damn good. Like a couple weeks ago, I think they're my friends. I couldn't really recognize them, but two ladies that yelled, "Hey, Tom," and then gave me the middle finger. Thank you. I couldn't quite recognize who they were. They were wearing the big sunglasses and hats, and I was like, I probably know them, but good one. Good one. Excellent. Anyway, we got to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the Monday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
DraftKings Casino is live, Alberta. Now you can play all your favorite casino games all in one app, from the Badlands to the Rockies. Check out the DK Slots collection with thousands of games to choose from. Play the classics like Cash Eruption, or take fan favorites for a spin like the widely popular Cash Shingo series. If table games and more are your thing, DraftKings has a huge variety. Plus, they've got more than 100 exclusive games like Rocket. And when it comes to jackpots, DraftKings Casino has tons available on your favorite games, including single-level, multi-level, and progressive jackpots. When you're ready to join the fun, download the DraftKings Casino app now in Alberta. The crown is yours. Please play responsibly. 18 and over. Physically present in Alberta. Eligibility restrictions apply. See casino.draftkings.com for details.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Ooh, yeah, good song. I think Donnie's trying to tell me something that on game day on the sidelines, I'm a 3 dressed up as a soft 6.5. Thanks, Donnie.
You're welcome, Tommy. That's exactly what I think me and everyone else that lives in this city has been thinking about you all along.
Yeah.
It's
Message received.
you're a catfish, and you know, you should be realistic about your about, you know, how handsome you truly are.
I don't say these things. I just embrace them and don't deny them, even though they're nice. It feels nice. It's a confidence boost. But message received, Donnie. Good tune coming out of the break there. And actually, the stinger there that says 40% Swedish hair cream, Joel DeBlanco, who's got great hair, and I interviewed post-game the other night, actually asked me about the Swedish hair cream. So I have to pass it. Yes. And I think he was being sincere. I will pass that along to him. It's great stuff.
Damn, even the players know about it.
Maybe he was just being nice. But I will answer his question. I told him it's Swedish air cream. He's like, tell me what it is, and I'll you know what? I'll get some to him. How about that? We're going to get to something that Tater sent in, and I'm also going to read some text in regard to the Women's Open that rolled through town. A couple of texts said, I went to see Korda, #1 player in the world, was here as well. All the LPGA players were impressive. Nelly Korda has the most consistent swing I have ever seen. And listen, I know on the men's side, they can grip it and rip it and torque that baby. But sometimes, like Scheffler's step, he's got that little the step, right? Korda is the same swing every single time. And I follow TaylorMade. She's a TaylorMade player. So is Brooke Henderson, by the way. But every time they show her hitting a shot, it's the same setup. It's the same, like you could probably match up all her shots and do, you know how you can put a frame over a frame? Probably exactly the same. She is so consistent, and a lot of people out there to see her as well, which was great. Absolutely tremendous. And listen, the LPGA, it's a great tour. I think, what was the purse? $2.75 million. That's good. Those ladies getting paid, great players, and I love the support that our community provided. Going to watch some great golf. Ranger Nick says, I'm shocked in a good way that women's golf is booming. And listen, one of the things that happened in the pandemic, at least that I noticed, was more females playing golf, taking it up, women's leagues, at courses, young ladies playing. It's a fun sport. It's a social sport. It's a competitive sport. You're playing against yourself. You're playing against others, however you choose to play it. You're outside. I love golf. As much as I love hockey and I love playing hockey, I prefer playing golf. Am I good at golf? No. Am I good at hockey? No. I wish I played football. Never played it. But to me, golf is, you can play it till you're 85, God willing. And if you keep your body in good shape.
I'm in the exact same boat, Tommy. And golf is one of those sports where, depending on your landscape, I feel like almost every employer nowadays, you want like a, I don't know, let's call it a team bonding type of day.
Yeah.
Golf course. You want like a, a fun time, like a fun weekend with your employees. Golf course. There's just so many applications for golf, and so many people have picked it up. I wouldn't even just. I'll take a step further. I feel like my generation picked up golf substantially more.
Yeah.
During COVID, that was the one thing. One of, I don't know, maybe a handful of positive things that came out of COVID was there wasn't a lot of young people who played golf. I'll be honest. Now,
that's true.
The amount of people that I know that specifically picked up golf during COVID because, there's almost nothing better to do and now love it. I could list off the names, but it's a great sport. It is my best sport, but that is unlike any other where when you have an off day, you are hopeless.
Yep. It's a mental battle as much as it is a physical one on the golf course. And you know what's funny is you have a bad round and then you make that one shot at the end of the round. And
that keeps you coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It gets you. Shout out, speaking of female golfers, shout out to my buddy Tony's wife, Alicia, who won her ladies club championship at Black Mountain out in Kelowna. Alicia was our team trainer with the Edmonton Red Wings. My buddy Tony was the guy that picked up the trainer and married her. And they moved out to Kelowna, and she and Tony are great golfers. So you're right, Dono. Like, a lot of my buddies' wives, girlfriends took up the sport of golf. A lot of young people did, which is tremendous. And Huss says, if I could pick one sport to go pro in, it would be golf for sure, followed closely by basketball, then darts. Signed Husks. Husks, you can golf in 2 out of 3 sports that you just mentioned while you play golf and darts. Coincidence? I'm surprised curling's not in there. Kidding. All right, couple texts, and we're going to get to something Tater brought up. Walter says, stop lying. Golf's not fun. It's a wonderful walk in the woods, spoiled by a little white ball. Walter, that is a fair statement. How you enjoy it, subjective. Beerman says, I worked the CPKC Women's Open. Great time, different than anything I've worked before. I love that you enjoyed it. And it's really cool to see one of our local courses dressed up like that. Big stage. It turns into essentially a big broadcast studio. You know what else struck me about watching that tournament on TV? Is how much greenery is in our city, and we forget that sometimes. There were times where you couldn't even see the city, and you're like, this is right outside downtown? Because it's in the valley, right? It looked beautiful. It really did.
People sleep on this city sometimes.
They do.
They do.
They
And
do.
I know a lot of people, like especially the Vancouver market, which, I mean, we hate those people, but they call it Deadmonton. And
Well, Vancouver's a special city.
Vancouver, it's a special place filled with lots of special people, and we don't like them very much sometimes. But this city, particularly down there and in the River Valley, it can be beautiful, and
It is beautiful.
It was definitely beautiful around the tournament over the weekend.
Yes, and it looked great on television. I love how they called it the City of Champions, and Eddie had a great diatribe about that earlier in the show. Okay, one last text from the rig, then we're going to get it to Tater's 8 words. The rig says, hey, Tommy, was it windy on the field Friday night? I couldn't tell because your hair wasn't moving. Yeah, there was a lot of product in that hair. She wasn't moving. You stop a hurricane with that hair. Okay, let's get to Tater's 8 words. His main takeaway from the morning. Here we go. These are Cam's 8 words. We're going to discuss this. December will show where Babcock's Edmonton Oilers stand. And you put that in our YouTube chat. I think Fenny did, as well as a poll. And we were talking about some people. I had someone, a friend of mine, peer in the media that was like, this thing's going to blow up by December. I said, wow, that was a bold statement, Cotton. What say you? Go ahead, Donald.
Oh, man, if I had to handicap it right now, I think it lasts the season, but I think it's a one and done.
One and done?
I think it's a one and done.
Oof. It could be.
I think the odds, like with the Stars, it will go fine, in my opinion. I think they'll respond, but I mean, look at the rap sheet, man. Like, it's the lower down the lineup guys. It's not like the grinded out types. It's the middling types who have either no clear roster spot or have, some kind of deficiency that he doesn't like. I mean, hell, look at a guy like Tyson Berry when he had him in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Tyson Berry despised the guy, and it's not because Tyson Berry is a softie. It's just because eventually, like, you can only hear the same thing, and you can only hear someone absolutely just dumping you and tearing you apart over and over. You can only hear that so much before it eventually wears on you. And,
yep.
I don't care who you are and how tough you think you are, it's going to wear on you. I think a lot of people have been there. I don't know. Like, it's a pretty common thing when you hear so much negativity that it's going to wear you down. And that happened to Tyson Berry. It's a tale as old as time for Mike Babcock. So it's a one and done for me. I don't know what the end result will be in terms of how their playoffs will go, but I think he's just going to wear out his welcome as he does everywhere.
You know what, Donald? I think it's going to be short-lived as well. I think he makes it past the season. I think that's going to be a better season for the Oilers, just strictly out of the fact that they're healthy. They've had all this time off to rest. And I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, pissed off about last season. Whether or not they have the horses to make it a Stanley Cup caliber year, we'll see. The team, the roster, it evolves with the year. Maybe we'll get Connor in on this. You want to jump in on this? The Mike Babcock thing? Some people saying, and this is Cam brought it up with his 8 words, but I'll just read it again. December will show where Babcock's Edmonton Oilers stand. Take a crack at it, Connor.
I think it'll be sooner than that if it does show. I think it'll be around Thanksgiving. around American Thanksgiving, I think, is generally when teams really show who they are. And because I don't remember what the stat is, but there's a stat that
like
it's
80%.
80%, yeah, like 80% or something like that. Of teams who are not in a playoff spot at that time don't make the playoffs. And like I think that is a good general, like, if the guys aren't clicking then and the systems aren't clicking, you've got serious issues if you aren't in a playoff spot by American Thanksgiving.
Nice, Connor Spivak with that one. Benny, you want to hop in on this? There he is.
I'm in the same mold as Donovan. John Harbaugh just did an interview recently. I swear this all loops back together, where he talks about like his 80-20 rule of coaching, or 90-10 or whatever. It's like, well, listen, if I harp on a guy all the time about the 10% of things that he does like not well, and I don't give him enough credit for the 90% of things that he does great, like, then it just sounds like I'm riding him and I don't think he's a good player. Which isn't true at all. I think he's a great player, but he's got 10% of things that I need him to work on. So I have to praise the 90% just as much, if not more, than I criticize him for the 10%, because then he's more willing to work on it. I don't think that's Babcock's style. I think he's a harp on the 10% sort of guy. And like Donovan said with Tyson Barrie, it just wears on a guy to the point where it's like you lose confidence or whatever because you think your coach thinks you're a crummy player.
Yeah.
Like Tyson Barrie was terrible in Toronto. He was horrible.
And there was a lot of hype around him when he went there.
Yes, like they acquired Tyson Barrie for Nazem Kadri. They needed Tyson Barrie to be good, and then he was terrible, not because Tyson Barrie's a terrible player, but because he got ragged on nonstop, and he lost all confidence. I mean, like, man, there's a reason that the guy comes with the red flags and the rap sheet.
Yep.
I think it's the same thing's probably going to happen to somebody. I just don't know who it's going to be.
When you're a guy that's nickname is Vibe Daddy, and all you're doing is getting torn to pieces by your coach, it's hard to be Vibe Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can't believe this show's over. It's been a great morning. Great morning. Good to be back. Good vibes in and around the city. Such a wonderful weekend of sports in our town. City of Champions, baby. We're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Big thank you to everybody who listened, everybody who watched. We appreciate you very, very, very much. For Cam Tate, for Connor Spivak, for Josh Fenwick, and for Donovan Paulson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great Monday. One more Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of RE/MAX Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here's Dono.
Is a Sports 1440 update.
MLB action tonight. The Rays are in Detroit. Of course, no Toronto Blue Jays going, but the Marlins host the Bo Sox. The Rangers clash with the Chi Sox. The Guards battle the Angels. Mariners look to bounce back against the Phils after giving up 19 runs yesterday. The second time in a week's span that they've given up 19-plus runs. The Cubbies are in Arizona, and the Padres host the Pirates. Dana Brown is out as Astros GM. Ashton Genty, in case you missed the news, it is just an ankle sprain of some sort. And coming up next on Sports 1440, it is The Frenzy with Connor Halley and myself, Donovan Paulson. As aforementioned, I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.